It says we're live. This is your host, Paul Gaither. It's Madden 14. It is Saturday, 1 in the afternoon. Just got home after doing errands and grocery shopping and all that. And you know what? The title says it all. It's back to the drawing board. Losing's fine. I'm frustrated at myself. I'm sure that came off in the video. Last two videos. I'm just frustrated in myself. I wanted something more. I was imagining something more. The losing is fine. But the production of our quarterback was so abysmal. It's really hard to quantify it. We're going to go here in practice mode. I don't know. I feel like I'm losing the plot, as the expression goes. Getting lost in the weeds. I wanted a sim-style experience. I wanted, a game plan. And I'm reminded of that expression, what was it? No plan survives first contact with the enemy. Mike Tyson, I think, had a quote similar to it, the idea of everyone's got a plan until you get punched in the face. But it's still based off that same original idea. And with that in mind, it's going back to the drawing board and just asking myself questions. When I was using the Patriots or the Saints, we had better success with this play, which is kind of the point, right? Having a good team versus not a good team, right? Having a good offensive line versus not a good offensive line, a good quarterback versus not a good quarterback. I get that. I'm not trying to downplay that. And I don't want to restart my franchise. In fact, part of the point of all of this is to suffer this year, and we sure have been suffering. But there's certain things that I want to look at. And I want to begin here, backing the ball up. The long drive. Let's say we've got the ball on the 22-yard line on the left hash after a kick return or something, right? And we come out like this. And we hand it off up the middle, and we're getting nothing, right? I get it. The box is stacked, all of that. So we've got this stacked box, and we're okay, we need to be able to run the football with the fullback, or at least a dual halfback set, right? Even if we wanted to do this. One of the fun things about this formation, one of the fun things that I have with football in general is I can go in here and I can say twin halfbacks, right? I've got shoelaces out there. I like the fact that we've been able to use Denard Robinson as a weapon. And Forsett is basically lined up as a single back here. Robinson, it can be a kick-out player or a threat, but we hand it off to our actual running back, and we're still getting crushed by Haloti Ngata, and that's fine. We want to break down certain scenarios and looks here, and we're going to lose one-on-one, as we should lose to a degree. It's going to affect our running game. We just get blasted. I get that. Really, the biggest problem has constantly been the quarterback position. So whenever we fake the handoff or whatever, what is the point of a given play? We've already cut Chad Henne. I'm not trying to restart the whole thing. And I don't care about the result of that sack, but it's okay, we hand it off and then we drop back here, and it's what are we truly doing? I guess in a perfect world we're trying to throw to Cecil Shorts or whatever, but what are we truly doing here? What is the real goal of this play? When you break it down, let's go to read. And it's just a little high-low flood action, and a high-low flood is definitely a classic, and you can get the little checkout, but then we're catching the ball out of bounds. We're on the left hash mark, by the way. We're on the far left hash mark, and we can't throw a ball to the sidelines without going out of bounds. Seriously, we're just barely staying in bounds for that. The idea is to, play action. Oops, sorry. Okay. We go, okay, here the box is stacked, and we're out here, and then we're launching the ball. What are we doing? I know A was the one that was open, but it's just what are we truly doing here? If they're in man coverage, we're just completely screwed across the board, right? It's not 2K8. That's the thing. 2K8, I can run this formation and get some success. And I start looking at the other plays. And with the what are you doing? With the Tom Brady's of the world and the Drew Breeses and all that, we were able to get something done, right? Able to draw back and like throw here, whatever. And like even as a user, like I can understand that. Like, but we're letting Chad Henne do it, right? We're trying to like read our checks, and then he just drags under and picks up 3 or 4 yards, and it's like an extension of the run game, right? And you go to another yardage situation, right? Like let's say, okay, we got out to the 19, right? It's first down, they're boxed up like this, and we say, okay, we're going to hand it off up the middle. Okay, that's done. Now it's second down, right? So that's not a good call. So do we want the halfback dive this way? They've got 4 to the left. We've got the center, the guard, the tackle, all that. Plus we've got a lead blocker. Like that got some yards. That was interesting. They're boxed up like this. Where we want to play action. And then we're out of bounds, and then we're looking at another play. Like, I don't mind that. If that's how Henne is, like, throwing incompletions, like, if that's how he would do it in the game, if he would just throw this, and it's like, oh, we couldn't make the catch in bounds, we couldn't give an accurate throw, we couldn't do whatever, fine. But it's like his 11 picks, 12 picks, whatever he was at, that was so frustrating. What was frustrating was him, like, running the back the other way and, like, doing, like, the weird fall off your back foot kind of throws. That's what was irritating, right? Beyond all hell. But I'm just asking, like, what are we really trying to accomplish with this formation? Do we truly even have a run threat? Do we truly have anything? And in the end, the only, like, plays that were any good were all of these out banger routes with the tight end, right? Curl flat, X is going to the corner. Flanker drive is going to the corner. Smash is going to the corner. Like, snag is going to the corner. It's just the same fucking route, right? Like, what are we even doing? So I just find myself like, let's go back to the drawing board. What are we even doing with this formation? We can't really run it well at all. And are we just throwing, like, the corner route? Is that the entire offense of that? That's what I found myself doing in the game. I'm like, why am I even calling this? Like, back to the drawing board. Keep it simple, stupid. Just because I was able to get the plays to work, I was able to go into practice mode and use a great quarterback and drop back and do that stuff. I think I just found myself, getting lost. So let's see here. Let's go near. And it's just like completely cut it. Bye. Then, the next thing that was frustrating for me, something I had a lot of fun as a human, was lining up in the goal line and putting, like, the tackle at the tight end spot as an eligible and being able to throw him the ball. Like, that stuff is fun as a human. But asking the computer to run those plays, we didn't try those. We tried those only in practice mode, not as the computer. And I'm like, no, what are we doing? Get out of here. Right, get out of here. Then the next thing that I noticed was I'm like, okay, what are some of these runs here? What are we really doing? A lot of these, we were playing these in practice mode and not in a game situation. And we weren't really taking advantage of it. So I'm like, okay, twin tight end. And what are we missing? I think one of them is called like Oakland or whatever. After Power O. Yeah, Oakland off tackle. That's something that we were missing in our book. Like, forget Hulk. We want twin tight end. Bulk it up. One wide receiver out there. The stretch, I'm ready to throw that in the trash. Patrick's here. Patrick's got a comment. Dude, unranked South Carolina is beating Alabama. What? I'm going here to what I can. I don't want to say the names of websites and have the algorithm AI cut me or give me any problems here. Let's just look here. Halftime, Tigers over whatever, and there's two Tigers. There's Clemson Tigers and the Missouri Tigers are beating teams. I know what you just said, but it says the Gamecocks. Yeah. Okay, that Carolina. Yeah, but come on, it's Carolina, bro. Okay, I'm gonna put that on with mute. What is the Gamecocks? I mean, they've had a history in the NCAA video game. I know that they've had a history of being a good football team from time to time. And Alabama doesn't have Nick Saban. I mean, how much does that matter, right? That's interesting. That's interesting. I'm going to put this on the side, and I'm going to open up the various links that I have. Okay, we got a game going. Okay. So now I'm going to open up a window so I can see the chat. Okay. All right, Patrick and others, I can see the chat, and then I've got another window open that I can watch the Alabama and Gamecocks game. All right, back to this. Back to my rambling. Back to the drawing board, bro. You know, we did all this stuff in practice mode, as I said, and we didn't really go to a game situation to see how it played out. That's something that I think that has hurt us in terms of this franchise and these games that I've been playing too. I want a system that I can believe in, that players can execute, and that the success of the team is based on the talent we have. But right now, I don't have a playbook that I feel confident in. Bro, that's really what's like eating me up inside. I don't feel confident in the game plan. I'm not happy with it. And just like a real football season, like you've got to go with the flow. But also, I'm kind of like forcing it. So, what do we have? There's plays with the auto motion, and I'm not saying we have to can auto motion plays. We've got Denver halfback zone, where like we put it in motion and we're basically balanced, but then we go to that side. There's the play action Bronco flat, where you again do that same thing and you fake it to that side. You do another variation of it with a rollout, so there's two variations of it. There's the weak. There's the off tackle, which I think I like more. There's actually putting them in motion and running into that side. There's faking the weak zone, which was here, and then misdirecting back to the strong side. It's this close Denver cutback weak, this close alignment that I'm worried about. That's definitely on my radar as a play to cut, because I do like the idea of, in principle, doing halfback Denver zone and then having this Denver weak cutback weak, where you actually fake like you're going that regular Denver play, but you're cutting it back, but then he aligns weak to the formation. So it's like, it's giveaway. Then that's supposed to be based off of this. Like you have the regular slash and then you've got the cutback, so I get that. Those are supposed to be tied together. So maybe I shouldn't have removed it, but that also means like, yeah, it's still that close alignment. Just get it out of here. All right, the game is back on, and I've got a comment here. It says, I'm shocked that Alabama is slipping this bad. St. Nick really held them together. Yeah, I mean, good coaching is essential. Is Alabama ranked 7th overall? Is that the point? Like, I don't follow college football as much as I should right now. I think that's the real point, right? Is that an unranked team is beating Alabama on the road, and they're a top 10 ranked team. Look, I'm going to tell you this, Patrick. I'm not a Gamecocks fan, but I will say this. I like Boise State. I'm sure I've said that many times on my channel. I mean, I know I have. The thing is, they were not ranked in the top 25 when they faced number 2 Oregon. And last I checked, they were ranked 23 or something, going to 21 or whatever. And they're going to continue to be climbing. And I really felt Boise State was better than how they were ranked when the season started. And I don't think anyone is truly surprised that Boise State took Oregon to the limit. And if you remember, Boise State was winning at several different points in that game, if I remember correctly. I might be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure Boise had the lead. Right? And it's just like, football games are long football games. And the ranked teams, the top teams, get it together. And I believe they won by 3 at the end, Patrick. So, like, if we're going to be honest here, Like, I don't follow the Gamecocks like I try to follow my Boise State Broncos. But the fact that they're doing this must mean something. This isn't Appalachia State against Michigan or whatever it was, right? Like, the Gamecocks have had a history of having really good players and really good teams. In my old NCAA games, I've, like, shown them on my original Xbox and even this Xbox 360. Like, they've had some good squads. This is not some joke team from some joke conference, right? You got to give the Gamecocks credit. So I don't know how much they're slipping, like, and how much Alabama's overrated, right? I kick my shoes off. It's on commercial. We're back here. And I think something that's important, especially if we're trying to take the ball out of Chad Henne's hands, and we've already cut him from the team, but you get the idea. Even if I were to restart it or do a different franchise or to have the next Chad Henne, the idea is still the same. If I want to take the ball out of his hands and I want to go with heavy sets, we definitely have this Bills weak zone, and then we have the misdirection based off of it. Now this says the play action, the counter Falcon. That's something that we're going to have to run as a computer, because do we even have the regular counter? It says Atlanta counter weak. This is what we're talking about here, coming across the formation, faking it one way and then countering the other way. So I need to take a closer look at that. This needs to be a way to take the ball out of the hands of the quarterback, and needs to be a staple formation, like old school bruiser football, right? Forget all this Niner spacing, auto motion with the fullback stuff. Forget that route combination. Forget the close garbage. I don't think this is going to be a good play for the computer to throw. I have no confidence in their ability to do it. Motion, play action, power, and the motion zone. They call this motion zone. And motion power, no, we're going to cut that. So what's the difference? Okay, are we just repeating a play? That's the play action. I don't care about the goal line fade stuff. This says Atlanta halfback zone version. We're going to have to see which works better, the Denver zone or the Atlanta zone. Close misdirection, forget it. All these close plays, forget it. The fade, forget it. The weak toss, don't bother me. The Bronco version out, where he fakes that run. Is there any functional difference? This is the core play I want rather than slash. This is the weak version. Okay. The misdirection we said. That's the close we don't care about. That's a repeat. That's a close and slash we don't want. This one says lion flat. So you've got A dragging underneath and the RB escaping out. Is this not just another version of not that, but another one? It's the same play, but the running back has more choices. So it's just worse. Got it. Do we have a motion with a counter? Here, this is it. So here's the cutback or the counter, and this is the counter Falcon. That's the next layer. The curls are terrible. The X-slant may or may not be good or bad. We'll have to find out. Do we even have like the regular inside dive to play action for this spot play? I don't think we do. That's an issue. I don't want a fullback dive strong side. The whole point is to dive weak side. The game is back on, and it looks like Alabama's moving the football after the punt. This is the ISO that the play action can be based on. So we can do spot and ISO. Sluggo, I don't care. Wide receiver corner, but we don't have, like, see, this is the play action version. You've got that inside break. I don't like all those double motions and everything. That could be fine. And Alabama's moving the ball. They're moving it, Patrick. I think the strong stretch is what we need to cut, and it's not what I'm looking for. Play action of the ISO of the leak. The corner. We can try a few of these. The regular boot flow. The regular weak dive, the counter weak. That counter weak. But they don't have the other weak run. And so if we're already doing this, what if we just cut the auto motion plays? What would it look like if we just cut the auto motion plays? Just cut the auto motions. Weak zone, strong zone. Cut the auto motion. Misdirection from the weak zone. Cut the auto motion. Cut the auto motion. X slant, play action spot, the inside dive. Like fake the ISO, fake that. Tight end option. Bangle Y option, tight end post. The play action waggle. I don't like the options there. Tight end leak, corner, clear out. The boot flow, the toss, the stretch, the lead dive, the counter weak, all of that. Let's say it's that. And we cut one play down to 15 or whatever. Third comment by Patrick. Let's see. It says, I like the strong side fullback dive when your wide receivers are both on the weak side. Yeah, I get that, bro. I totally get that, Patrick. I totally get it. Here's the thing that I don't like about the strong side fullback dive is, like, if you have the double tight ends like that, in this very specific form, is it's like the whole point of having the fullback there is to hit that hole. The point of the weak dive, like, the idea is to force the defense to line up against a setting the edge, and then you fullback dive it weak because they're so committed to stopping the strong side with the double tight ends and the strong side gaps that you just slip the fullback in weak side. Does that make sense? They only have like 2 or 3 guys weak side, and you're just like hat on hat, slip the fullback in there and get your yards, right? Can I do twin tight? Oh, that's my own place. Let's go back to all plays, I-form, twin tight end. Fullback lead? No. Where's the fullback play? Fullback dive. But do they have the fullback dive like fake toss? Is it just that? It's just fake fullback, halfback flip. Okay. Safe playbook. Right? Now here's the other thing, Patrick. I'm going to read your message just a second here. At least if they have the fake flip, and they were doing this in 2K8, where the fake flip froze like a backside defender, so they were like kind of taken out of the play because they had to respect the fullback going, or sorry, the halfback going out to the flats, and the possible pitch fake. Like, that was at least useful because it kept the defender out of the run fit, and it made sense. So let's go set this up and read your comment. It says, yeah, it makes sense from that formation to avoid running strong side. Exactly. So there are times when I love it. Like, I also like weak eye with the twins and the fullback dive. And then because some of the times the fullback dive is like actually going back strong side or whatever. And like you just mess with everything, right? Weak eye twins is like a favorite formation of Kyle Shanahan, of his dad, Mike Shanahan, of many people. And for good reason. It's a really interesting formation that you can quickly shift or motion strong. You can counter. You can do all kinds of fun things out of weak eye twins. that you can't really do here. And I think, Patrick, you might have been the one. Someone else might have said it instead. How lack of creativity that they have in the formation. So let's go this twin tight ends. And let's just check it real fast here. Let's go to fullback dive. Random play. And I know it's obvious here. I know, Patrick, you know it too. But it's like I look at this, and I'm like, they're not respecting Lewis and Resner as edge blockers. So why would I even hand that off? Like, why would I hand that off to the fullback? Right? Why don't I just take it like that and bounce it outside the tight ends? Right? And I actually want like a more outside run, if that makes sense. But here we're actually pressing the inside hole. We're getting hats on hats like that. And no one's sealing the edge while Reisner or Reisner or whatever is kicking out. And we're just like, we're going to take 5+ yards. Right? We're going to suck up the defense on the inside. We're going to double team here. And we're just going to take 5, 6, 7 yards, whatever. Right? So here's the situation. They've got a cornerback all the way out there on the edge. They've got like 2 defenders stacked here, the defensive end and the linebacker behind it. Over Lewis and Resner, hat on hat. They've got 2 guys mugging the A gap. Or not the A and the B gap, right? And then they've got the defensive tackle on the center and the 0. I've got 2 guys to the left-hand side. So to me, this is like, okay, let's get the center blocked, zeroed up, and let's get the guard blocked, maybe even a double team on this linebacker here, and let's just pound it through this hole. And that's one of the next level problems. And I see your comment. I'm going to read it in just a second here. Is while we're zeroing the center, we're not getting enough width here. As we're also like punching and we've got a hole here. Like the game is automatically handing it off, and like even as a user I don't have control until somewhere around here, and it's already like, okay, we get no yards. And I see Patrick says, yeah, I would have nearly audible out of that formation. Look, exactly. And I have Alabama gun backing up, throwing end zone, intercepted. Let's go, Gamecocks! Let's go! Let's go. Back of the end zone interception. There is no mustard on the lettuce. Let's go. Are the Gamecocks at home but wearing white uniforms because it's hot outside? Because I see the fans going insane in the stands. Isn't this at Alabama? Yeah, it's at Alabama. The end zone is painted Alabama. What am I thinking? Of course it is. But the camera was like, they're freaking out. Like they're just going nuts. What a great pick. That's what's up on defense. Now, we can also talk about the audibles that I have available to myself, but here's another situation. It's like, okay, I've got 4 to the right. If I've got a double team on this nose tackle, that leaves me 3 more blockers with my tackle, Lewis and Resner, versus 3 defenders. I've got my fullback to lead block for me to the right to get me through the hole. Like, I would just run this ball like ISO, but not really ISO. I'd run that Oakland whatever play, right? So I'd just be like, pop people, and then we're losing this blocking situation. And okay, losing like that is like fine. I'm like, okay, my Jaguars, they suck, whatever. Yeah, no, they suck. Look at this. He pops and Resner just lets him free. Resner just lets him free, like they ignore him. Like, what is the angle targeting confusion? You want to say it's the awareness or whatever, and he's targeting the wrong guy. Okay. You want to see me lose the game? I don't mind if I lose because my offense can't handle this, and they both think that they're supposed to be the peel man, and then they just let him slip through 97. Like, this is how I don't mind losing football games, but losing because I have like 12 plus interceptions from Chad Henne, where he's like can't even throw the football correctly. That's when I'm like, what are we doing, bro? Okay, so now it says that I have 18 plays here, which is the division of the 3 plays on the screen. That's fine. If I have ISO and I've got a play action spot. Hello, Amor.
Oh, babe, lunch is ready.
Well, I told you I was going to get my own lunch. I already told you, and then you said you put the card on the table, and I told you I'm probably going to get my own lunch. And
I just didn't want to make a decision yet.
Yeah, so you made a decision for me?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, great, thanks. Okay, lunch is ready. Awesome. I know, that's why I'm using the voice like this. She's yelling, I can hear you. That's why I'm using my voice like this. Random play. Okay. I don't think I like this play. Like, what are we trying to get open here? What are we trying to run it against? Like, here, they have too high. We're just going to run the football, right? I think I need to change the audibles before I continue practicing like this, because these audibles suck! Oh, you didn't want any Orange Crush? You want that Coke Zero. That's what's up. What is it? Just boring chicken and salad and...
No, pollo saltado.
Oh, okay.
With more juice, because I asked for more juice for you.
You think you can bring the plate here?
No,
I'm like in the middle of streaming.
We're family.
I told you.
Are you recording this?
Yes, I'm saying hi.
Oh!
Oh, she's realized that that I'm going live right now. That's why I asked. Can you bring the
thumbs up if you want Paul to have lunch with his family?
I don't see any thumbs up.
Like a family guy. I'm gonna go to the Apple and give you a...
God, I love her. She's so amazing. Audibles, twin tight ends. That's what I came here for. Okay, I'll need a run to the left. A run to the left is going to be that. It can be that. Yeah, it can be that. ISO can be that. This trigger can be the counter version of it. And this can be... I know it could be the counter the other direction. But let's have it be the actual off tackle. Right? So we have 4 runs. Will it let me save 4 runs? So something, it's not an interception, and Alabama has the ball, or is there a turnaround that I didn't see? Like, what's going on? I don't know. Alabama's in the goal line situation, and they have like the quarterback run, and they're in the end zone, and now they have the lead. And now, Patrick, all is right with the world. Unranked South Carolina Gamecocks are now losing the football game. And no one's going to freak out anymore. Because that's what a ranked team does, just like Oregon did to Boise State when they were unranked. Play a tight game. Now they're down. Fourth quarter, 10 minutes, something left. Take the late lead. Wear them down. That's the point, isn't it? Absolutely love the comments. And now Alabama's going for 2. And it's no good. It's a 1-point lead. You have to tell me what happened with that interception. Like, was there some bullshit penalty? They're like, illegally taking the ball away from Alabama. We need to give Roll Tide another chance. Like, what happened there? Obviously, the audio was off for me. So let's say we come out and we say we're going to call tight end option in. And we're going to do this. Back it up. And remember, we want to be on the right hash. So let's start somewhere around this 30-yard line. There with that hash mark. They're boxed up like this. You see, they force us to have a play. They force us to have a passing play. You have to have an audible to a passing play. So, yeah. I think we're going to go counter weak as our X button play. ISO. Yeah, we're going to have to change it. Patrick says, Mahomes' personal ref ran out under the field and said, "Stop this madness." Yeah, basically. Basically. Because it looked like a clean pick. There was no flag on the field, like notification from the broadcast or anything. It just seemed like all legit. And they were like, "You just straight up threw a pick, sucker." So we have to have a passing play. Even though I've got it set up like this, you got to have the passing play. So fine. Fine. Counter weak. We're going to do the straight up ISO run inside. That can be off tackle. And this can be the boot flow, all based around that central play running to the right. So you got the run to the right, the counter that fakes the run to the right, inside or off tackle, and then the boot action. Fine. Does that make you happy, video game? Great. Now we can continue. This is why this stuff takes hours to do. All right, you think the Gamecocks have it in them? Wow, I'm watching this commercial. I'm glad all these players are allowed to make commercials now. I'm glad that adults, 18-plus-year-old men, are able to make money based on their name, their image, and their likeness. Like, I know that there are a lot of haters. I don't want to get political or divisive. I have my own slants and opinions, and people have their own perspectives. But I don't know why there's such vehement hatred of the NIL deals. Like, I know that there are some things that people complain about, and I know what they are, but like, as a whole, they're like, "Oh, don't they get paid enough by having a free education?" Bro, you don't get it. Like, if that's someone's argument, like, you literally don't get it if that's your argument. Like, you don't understand. I'm not calling you dumb or wrong or anything. I'm just saying, like, you don't get it. And I'm willing to help explain if you actually want to know. Like, the whole thing to me is, they're 18 years and older. They can literally make money. Like, go open up, like, a business. Go do whatever you want. So what is wrong with a person endorsing Wheaties? Like, remember when that was a thing? Like, I'm 40. That was a thing before I was born. Like, that was a thing. Be on the Wheaties box. Like, why can't you have, like, Flutie Flakes? Why can't you have Mark Ingram Flutie Flakes? You know? Why can't you do that? Because you play for the football team? Like, if you have your name on a Wheaties box, what difference does that make in terms of, like, boosters or whatever? Well, because they're playing for this school and it gets more national attention, and that means they're going to have more money, so they're going to be incentivized to go play for Alabama. Like, I get it. But you think that kid wasn't already incentivized to play for Alabama because their coach was Nick fucking Saban? Because they have an opportunity and exposure to play in the SEC and compete for national championships and everything? You think that's not enough of a reason? Like, come on. Like, you play for a power school because they're a power school, because you earned a spot, you earned a scholarship to go there. That's why. Right? What the fuck? It really doesn't want us to have the play, does it? So as I was saying, like, I think it was Reggie Bush. Someone was talking about, because Reggie Bush had his own thing about getting paid, so I don't think it was him. Some athlete was saying how he was struggling to buy lunch all week long or whatever, and then he goes to the stadium and it's full of people wearing jerseys with his number and his name on the back or whatever, holding tickets that have his picture on it, with banners on the stadium with his face on it, whatever. And he's like struggling to like buy ramen for lunch or whatever it was, right? Like, that's so ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous, right? That you can have like all these autograph signings and all these other things, and it's like, but everyone else can make money off of your name, your image, and your likeness, but you. And that was bullshit. Okay, let's get back to here, and we'll get there. Eric Dickerson was given a gold Mustang to play for SMU back in the day. I believe Shaq was going to the NBA was a pay cut. Yeah, that's one of the other things that I've heard, Patrick, and that's also part of this conversation here. Is I believe they were saying Caleb Williams was making more in NIL these last 2 years than they said Dak Prescott's contract was at the time. Because obviously I think Prescott got an extension now and all that stuff. But I think they said something about like his salary was higher because of NIL. And it's like, what's the problem? Like, can you tell me a legitimate problem? Because what it sounds like people are complaining more about the transfer portal. Right? Like, oh, you do all this and they get this money and then they're out of your school or whatever. And it's like, yeah, you know how much money these schools are making off ticket sales and everything? It's just like, it just seems so simple to me. You're 18 years old or older, so you're not a minor, and people want my autograph. I should be able to sign a picture with my name on it and make money off of it. I should be able to charge for photos and appearances because I'm an adult in this capitalist system or whatever. Right? Like, the school doesn't have me under a contract like the NFL. Right? But if you as a school want to sell my jersey, I should have an agent representing a percentage of sales if you want to sell jerseys. Just like if I want to sell Alabama shirts here, like, I'm going to get in trouble for using their image and their likeness as a school. Like, you need to license it. So why don't you have to license the individual kid? Like, why does it say you're at this school so you give up the right? Like, we are going to market you. And again, I hear the stupid argument. Not a stupid person. The stupid argument. But they're getting a free education or whatever. You want to have a side conversation about the fact that we should probably have a certain percentage of our taxpayer money actually going to giving people an education, and how in the United States we actually used to care about science and education all the way back in the 20s, the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, all that stuff. And you want to talk about like Make America Great Again or any of those things, like forget Trump for a second. I'm just talking about making America great again or whatever the country. You think actually investing in education and investing that people get degrees and not have to go into massive debt and everything, and that the whole point of having taxes is to pay for schools and all that stuff. Like, you're okay with paying for public education, and I don't want to get into school vouchers right now, but you're okay with public education, but as soon as they're 18 years old, like, they have to go into massive debt. Like, do we not see the contradiction there? Like, everyone should, air quote, have access to apply for these schools or whatever, merit-based meritocracy, all that, get a chance to go to school, right? So it shouldn't be a reward for how good you are at the football game, how good you can bounce the ball and get it in the hoop. Then you get an education because you're good with the ball in your hands. Like, no, you should already have, like, this should be a thing. Like, there should be private schools and public schools, and these public schools funded by taxpayer money, like, that are paying these head coaches salaries. You're okay with the head coaches getting these massive salaries, but you're not okay with, like, paying the people's education, or you're okay with Mark Ingram or whoever. I'm not trying to pick on him, but it's just we're watching Alabama and all that. Like, you're okay with the school giving them a scholarship to watch. I see a lot of comments here, Patrick, and I love it. You're okay with the schools handing out scholarships to kids, but not handing out scholarships to other kids who do well academically, or only a certain percentage or whatever. Shouldn't we just... Oh, God, it makes me mad. Yeah, okay. Now I'm going to see all this because you got awesome stuff here. Patrick says, I believe that it was Arian Foster. He was broke and had to tell his coach that he was about to commit a crime if he didn't have food. Oh, yeah, the transfer portal is wild, yes. You can transfer and end up with, like, 3 different NIL deals, yeah. And Johnny Football controversy was wild because the NCAA was absolutely selling his jersey with the back saying football or something. Like, his nickname was totally being used for profit, exactly. But that argument just means that football players shouldn't be forced to pretend that they're student athletes because they're actually professional athletes in college. Is kind of the point. Exactly. I'm going to get to that point in just a second, Patrick. It says they're currently taking scholarship money that should go to actual students. In general, I think that student athletes, this is from Patrick saying, I believe that athletes should be given deferred scholarships so they can actually focus on a degree when they are retired from football. juggling the both is crazy. Exactly. So many stories come out about the fact that to be an athlete, to be a high-level athlete and all that, you don't have time to study or do these other things. This is not, 1890. This isn't 1912. Okay? These are not, the stereotype, I'm from Princeton and I'm from, whatever, Boston College or whatever, and hey, let's have the ball out there with our leather helmets, buddy. And I know I'm just exaggerating. People are just the same as they are in the past as they are today. And humans, I'm just like being a cartoon character. I'm thinking of like the Family Guy kind of like, they make the jokes of like the wasps or whatever, but it's like, oh, bully, let's go out there and run the pigskin around or whatever. Like, it's just not the same. It isn't, oh, it's just a student athlete. I'm a student and you're a student and we're both athletes. It's like, yeah, we're at the point where people are paying to watch these tickets and these sales and these ticket sales and at the stadium and the TV deals and the licensing and all this stuff. Like, lots of money is changing a lot of hands because people want to watch these high-end athletes as young men develop in what's essentially the NFL D League, or not even D League, but like prep league, because that's the point of all of this. It is the great filter to show, who's ready for the NFL by showing off in college, right? And we want to see these great athletes, and it's just not the same to have, 18-year-old, 19-year-old me enrolled at college playing against Calvin Johnson. Like, people want to see Calvin Johnson play. They don't want to see me play, okay? People are not lining up to pay to watch me play, okay? They're paying to watch Calvin Johnson at Georgia Tech catch the football, right? And there's no reason why, the Megatron jersey, he didn't even get the nickname Megatron until he was with the Lions or whatever, but you get the idea. It's just like, oh, it's a goddamn mess. It's just not the same, right? Stanford tries to have this idea of like the student athlete because they want your grades to be a certain level in certain classes and all this stuff. And if you happen to be a good athlete too, but you need to be able to get into Stanford as a student on your own merits and your own education. And if you happen to also be an athlete, which is also like big fan of Richard Sherman and everything that he had to go through to be a great athlete. And I want to make sure that I read the other comments and everything. It says it's really is a great filter. More people watch college football than minor league baseball. It's wild. Exactly. People take it serious, the pageantry, and there's only like 12 games or whatever. And I see the Gamecocks lining up for a field goal to take the lead because I think they're down 1. Yeah, they're down 20-19 with 6:14 to play. And he kicks it, and he's going to miss it to the right. This is how it happens, Patrick. This is how it goes. So yeah, the whole transfer portal thing is another issue where I can definitely see the argument and people are upset about when it comes to this transfer portal business of if you don't like it, you can just jump teams. It's I don't have a complete idea here like I do when it comes to NIL. And I feel conflicted because I understand many perspectives. I understand the Tom Brady perspective of like whenever he was thinking about transferring from Michigan because he wasn't being treated as like a true starting quarterback. And yet he also talked about the grit that he got from talking to, I don't know, the head coach or someone and like, hey, go out there and can actually compete for the job and prove that you're worth it and blah, 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 and man up for it. And there's like a validity there. But there's also a validity in like Cam Newton's situation where Cam was backing up Tim Tebow. Regardless of how we feel about Tebow in the NFL, Tebow is definitely like belongs in the College Football Hall of Fame version of among the great college football players. Is he a great quarterback like a Drew Brees? No. Tim Tebow as the quarterback in Florida is one of the greatest college football players and college football careers we've ever seen. And Cam Newton, I believe, was in the same freshman class as him, or was 1 year behind Tebow. It's like the kid needs to go to Auburn, which is where he went, or another school, to give a chance to show how Cam Newton is. Otherwise, he was just going to back him up like forever. Like, what is it? Was it Matt Flynn? Or no, I think it was Matt Castle. Matt Castle didn't play college football. Like, he played college football for USC, but my understanding is he didn't throw a single pass or whatever in college football. I think it was in 2008 when Tom Brady got hurt, was Matt Castle's like first game pass since high school or something. He just like backed up, like, what was it, like Matt Leinart? I think it wasn't in time for Carson Palmer, but it was like Matt Leinart and John David Booty or whatever it was, and it was like Castle was just sitting in the wings like, I could be starting for other teams, but I'm the backup to USC, who already has like stacked like a Heisman Trophy winner, or at least a Heisman candidate, in Matt Leinart. I don't think he won the trophy. I think it was Reggie that won it. But did Matt win a trophy? I don't remember. I think it was a candidate. But it's like, I'm just backing this up. I'm not even playing football. So I can understand. Like, how about transfer to school because you actually came to school to actually play football and not dress up and stand on the sidelines, right? So, like, I can understand the value, and then you're getting punished. Like, oh, you have to wait a year of eligibility. You have to lose a year of football because you want to go to a different school. Like, what is that? Like, I can understand the value in the transfer portal. Unfortunately, ideas meet reality, and you have these kids that's just like, I'm a coach. I'm going to move. I'm going to go transfer portal. Like, all these, like, what are you doing, bro? Like, oh, you don't like the way coach makes you do wind sprints, so you're going to hit the transfer portal? Like, don't be a baby back bitch. And I can understand Nick Saban's frustration with the system because there's, like, two sides of the same coin. It's, like, really unfortunate in some situations and then ridiculous in others. And yeah, Patrick, you're like, how is that possible? I had no idea. Dude, Matt Castle had a good year. Didn't they go like 11-5? They beat bad teams, and all 5 losses were against winning teams, if I remember correctly. I think all 11 wins were against losing teams, and I think all 5 losses were against winning teams. It was just because of the way the Patriots' schedule is, and they had the Jets, and I believe they lost to the Jets twice. I think they lost to the Colts or whatever. However the situation is like all the teams that they lost to were winning records, and I think all their wins were losing record teams. I have to look it up. Maybe they had winning records at the time that the New England won, but they finished the year with losing records. 2008 Patriots. And then also I want to look up Football Reference. Football Matt Castle. Matt Castle stats. Well, Alabama has the ball. Like, whatever. Let's go to... Does it have college? Let's go... That says NCAA. Let's see if we can get NCAA. Matt Castle college stats, drafting, game log, splits, all of that. Okay. So it does say this. Okay, I thought it was that crazy. I thought they said something about high school. Maybe it was touchdowns? Okay, because it says asterisk indicates both stats are included. So his freshman year, he was 1 of 2. His sophomore year, he was 3 of 4. His junior year, he was 6 of 13. His senior year, he was 10 of 14, had no touchdowns. He had 1 interception. He had 33 pass attempts. Okay, that's all he had. So maybe it was his first touchdown since high school. Maybe it wasn't like pass attempts. So yeah, I did exaggerate because I didn't know better, but I could have sworn he was just busy backing up guys to the point, like, yeah, sometimes in college they do pull you when you're beating the hell out of somebody. But yeah, that's what ends up happening. So yeah, his first touchdown pass in the NFL was his first touchdown pass since high school. That's what it was. Because I knew there was some stat like that. Let's go here. 2008 Patriots, their season. And it says regular season. And then does it have their opponents? 2008 Kansas City. And then they beat the Jets. Okay, so I think the Jets had the winning record and we're going there. It says Kansas City was 2-14. So Kansas City was a losing team. The Jets went 9-7, so they had 1 win against a winning team, but they didn't make the playoffs. Maybe that's what it was. They didn't beat a team that made the playoffs. They lost to Miami, who would win the division. They beat the Niners, who would go 7-9. They lost to the Chargers, who were 8-8 but made the playoffs. Maybe that's what it was. I get these little facts a little mixed up, so like bear with me. So yeah, they lost to Miami, who made the playoffs. They lost to the Chargers, who made the playoffs. They beat Kansas City and the Jets and the Niners, who didn't make the playoffs. They beat the Rams and the Broncos in reverse order. They beat the Broncos first, who were 8-8 and didn't make the playoffs because the Chargers made the playoffs instead, who they lost to. The Rams were 2-14 that year, and they beat them. They lost to the Colts, who obviously had Peyton Manning, were 12-14. They beat the Bills, who were 7-9 and didn't make the playoffs. They lost to the Jets late, so yeah, that happened. So they lost one game to a team that didn't make the playoffs. Then it says they beat Miami, so Miami made the playoffs. So that was one exception inside the division. The Steelers, they lost 33-10. The Steelers were 12-4, and they made the playoffs. They beat Seattle, the Raiders, and Arizona, and then the Bills again. Seattle was 4-12, didn't make the playoffs. Oakland was 5-11, didn't make the playoffs. Arizona was 9-7, but I don't think they made the playoffs. They did make the playoffs. Okay, so almost that. Very close. It says that was the year the Dolphins ran all over them with a Wildcat, right? Yeah, that was it. Okay, I've got the game back on the other channel here. But yeah, you get the point. Like, while I was wrong with a little bit of the facts, it was like 80% right, and wrong is wrong and right is right. I get it. But you get the idea. Like, Castle hardly got a chance. But he was an NFL quarterback that ended up getting contracts and starts and opportunities and blah, blah, blah. And he hardly got to play college football. And the idea is, like, I think he also stayed because it was like, I think it was him trying to compete with John David Booty. I think it was for the starting job. But the ideas are still the same. And it's like, well, if someone gets hurt, then you can be thrust in the position. And you never know. And nah. But you can see why, like, some guys, it's like, this guy's an NFL quarterback. And he's not even playing. Like, you could see why a player, not Matt Castle specifically, but why a player would want to go quarterback for Kent State or whatever, so they could at least play the game that they love growing up playing, right? So I do value the purpose of the transfer portal. I also value the purpose of, with Deion Sanders and his son, Schrader Sanders, whatever. It's like, okay, you're at this... these black colleges, and the whole point of Deion, like, bringing a spotlight to these black colleges, historically black colleges, and you go out there and you're like, okay, now we actually have a chance to go to Colorado, who's like a school that could be ranked, like, versus these black colleges, like they're not in the same division. That's what are they called? I'm not trying to say black colleges like trying to be racist. I'm literally trying to say they have like a special name. Like historic black colleges, like HBCs or whatever, they like literally have like a classification, and like with Deion Sanders going there, like they have a title. There's even a football game. I think Doug Williams's HBC college football or something. Like there's like literally a classification for them, and for their history and recognizing them. But that's the point. It's like Deion was like bringing attention, and like the kids were going there, and it's like, here's a chance to go to a higher level school without having to take a year off of football in your development, right? Like there's a value in the portal. Yeah, it says technically correct is the best kind of being correct. Yeah, like there's a purpose behind it. Let's see if we can get this formation to work now. I've been going on rants. Thank you for sitting here listening to my rants. At least it feels like I have someone to talk to back and forth instead of just ranting to myself. But yeah, watching people complain about NIL is ridiculous, because we also know what was going on behind the scenes in the bagmen and all that stuff. Like, we all knew it was happening. Why don't we just put it out in the open and stop, like, lying about it? Why don't we just stop all this SMU, Reggie Bush, all these other things? And why don't we just acknowledge the fact that these are 18-year-old adults who can earn money? And, like, have them earn their money based on, like, their net worth of, like, their value on the field or whatever. Because, like, let's put it this way. Outside of sports and outside the NCAA's rules and regulations, if I were at a science school and I came up with, like, this app or whatever, I could sell the app. There we go. We finally got it working, huh? Finally, we just had to switch the buttons. So, let's say I was going to MIT. and I had some app that could help something of something, and I could sell it on the iOS store. They're not going to revoke my scholarship at MIT for selling an app, right? That's my understanding. Like, they're even going to, like, parade around, like, hey, look at this great thing that they did while they're going to school at MIT. Like, they would promote it. It's just specifically the NCAA body of regulations that's like, hey, you can't make money. Only we can make money. It's like an organized crime of sorts, if that makes sense. Like, hey, you can't do it unless we get our cut, and we want the entire piece of the pie. And at least they're letting up off of it. Now, this is some trash by the fullback. You can see the opening position. Where is the handoff point? Is it still too far wide? This is the Oakland version, isn't it? That's what I have, the Oakland slant. Whatever. Where is it? Oakland off tackle. Did I have both plays in there? Yeah, that is the Oakland off tackle. It just has a different art in the play call versus there. So we should have the handoff point. See, it snaps into place. I can't just like align it up like this. Can I get this aligned? It's like so sensitive. I want to align to the lineman's back leg, and then it tries to snap into place. There we go. Somewhere about here. Yeah, they're outside of like the ideal like aim point. You want somewhere between the quarterback and the halfback, off the outside foot of the guard. And I'm pretty close to the up position where the ball is to be handed off. But the handoff location is outside where we want. And you want to aim down the outside tight end. That's also why I have the circle here. See, my circle is also supposed to be in line with the alignment between the running back, and he's going to be run down the outside foot of the tight end, the outside hip of the tight end, and he's too far wide. That point, it makes a difference. It may seem small. Touchdown Bama. I see that on the screen and in your chat. Thank you. And yeah, you say basically it's been a cartel. Yeah. A huge 3rd and 10 conversion for a touchdown. My goodness. I'm going to have to see the replay. They've got to show the replay. But here you go. Well, they might have skipped over it. They might show it after the extra point. But there you go, Patrick. That's why a ranked team can start the game losing, and they're doing just what Oregon did to Boise State. You play a tight game, and eventually the ranked team outlasts you and bullies you and wins. And this, Patrick, is how I want to lose games with Jaguars. I just want your better quarterback, your Peyton Manning, whatever, to just go out there and beat us. And to some degree, that's what we had when we played Denver. I expected us to lose by more. But I saw the replay, the touchdown to the right-hand side, like wide open, like busted coverage, right? So it looks like he wide open busted coverage. He stayed in bounds with his feet, yeah. And he crossed that pylon. They're checking the pylon camera. So clean. So clean. That's how you do it. Like, that's how I lose, because I don't have a pass rush. Because my Jaguars literally don't have a pass rush, because their block shedding isn't very good, because their tackling isn't as clean as it should be, because their man coverage ratings are in the 70s or whatever, and you've got like 90 route runners or whatever. Like, that's how I'm losing, because they can put points on the board and we can't stop you on 3rd down and blah, blah, blah. I lose because you split the double teams and you tackle me, and because my guys drop a catch in traffic or whatever, because they can't get separation, because, I mean, like, I do have, what is it, Blackman with, Cecil Shorts has the one, I think, with the, like, 90-something route running, but he's, like, the only one that can, like, air quote, get open against many corners, and no one else can, like, get all that open, and we have nowhere to throw, so we're throwing into coverage, or throwing it away, or we're taking a sack. That's how I want to be outlasted and outmuscled and lose these football games. But the way, like, oh, there's going to be like 3 open guys, and Henny's going to stand there and not throw the ball, and then he's going to throw it in like triple coverage, and it's going to be intercepted, and we're going to throw 12 interceptions with his, awareness like that. Like, what the fuck are we doing? That's what's frustrating. That Broncos game was winnable in the end, so to me, that's as good as it gets. Yeah, and I tried to take over on literally the last play. as you saw me scrambling around and looking and trying to buy time and do some like heroics or whatever, and it was so frustrating to see the guy just stand there and not move. And it's not even like, even if it was Madden 04, like if I wanted to playmaker up and like throw the ball to complete it, just the fact is he just sat there and even like try to pass lead up. Like sometimes in the PS2 you can do that, you can pass lead up and he'll just like catch it and like go in the end zone. Amor, dime, please. I'm watching Alabama and South Carolina. Is it South Carolina? Yeah, it's just Carolina. Yeah, South Carolina, the Gamecocks. And see, that's how you do it. You just play defense like that. That's what's up. Right here, but if we can't run because we can't block or whatever, but then there's like the video game this right here I have on my screen, the fullback. We've already seen this play go through, but it's just like, if having like a 90-plus awareness fullback resulted in the block, that'd be one thing. But just like, because it's Madden... Thank you so much, Amor. But yeah, hand me the plate, please. Thank you so much. Can I have my salad dressing for this salad? I appreciate it. If you want more Coke, go for it. And you can also have the Coca-Cola. You can also have the Coca-Cola too.
Any packets?
Yeah, because that's all we have, right? Yeah, thank you. So, I'm just trying to figure out here, like, see how they're all stacked up like that? That's just ridiculous. Let's flip it so at least we're pretending that we're trying to defend against this. I see a flag out there. I don't know, it's like a roughing or something like that. Okay, so they've got like the edge all set up like this, but they also have the defensive tackle like nosed against our center like weak. And they've also got like an edge set at the defensive end position. So we've got this little triangle with the B gap being covered by the linebacker but off ball by the linebacker. I already have a couple more. I already have here. I already have a glass. I appreciate it. Yeah, go for it. No, super appreciate it. It looks delicious. So at least they're trying to defend the weak side of the run. And this is where you would want to counter. This is where you would want to fullback weak dive and everything. So let's do that. They're set strong. We down block. We kick out. He bounces in a weird way. And this is like 90-something... MJD has like 90-something ball carrier vision. And he does this nonsense. Like, what are you doing, MJD? Let him kick out. Even here, I don't mind like losing if you literally got Justin Tuck and he's like man up and pushes you back into the running back. Like, okay, he just literally outstrengthed us instead of the other way around. Like, if I have Mike Upati of the 49ers going out and just busting him, instead he's the one that busts us, I guess that, like, is what part of the bounce is. But you actually literally have a cut up. You have the down block and the down block by 76, and then we've got a lane, right? But by the same token, that's also a place where we would try to fullback run, right? Let's double here. Let's kick out. And that's what I want. That's fine. I don't mind that being my 5-yard run instead of a big-time run. We double team with Jokel here. And then he pops off. He releases it the right way. We have the kick out by Resner, whatever his name is. We've got the lead block by 45. We split between the two. And we get caught from behind. That's a good football play. Right? Pick up 4 or 5 yards that way. That stuff's all fine. So I'm watching this college football game too, Patrick, with you. And I'm seeing like the sack and all that. Okay. So this next layer. ISO is the foundation of PA spot. But the Oakland outside zone off tackle whatever play is the basis of PA boot flow. Did they score a touchdown? Because I see number 8 in the end zone talking to the officials. Or are they like trying to ask for a flag? He's got the football in his hands and they're saying incomplete. I'm watching a replay. He's got his hands up. He grabs the football, but he's but he doesn't have full control yet. And then his foot's off the ground. He was jostling it. He's got the foot down, but he lost control. And he regained control while the foot was in the air. Oh, that's tough. That's a heartbreak. You can see from both angles. You can see the foot comes off the ground. He's got the catch, and then he's jostling it, and then gets it back under control. Oh, that's brutal. And that's another play, like here as a human, as a user. Like, I can complete that pass here. Right? You see the handoff point. This is what I want to see closer as the handoff point. He opens up. It's a little bit inside. It's a little bit wonky. He's not stretching it out completely. But, like, fake that, roll out, stand, and then we've got one-on-one deep and throw this. But it's like Henny as a computer just won't make this play. And this is one of the differences of why, like, I want to play with coach mode versus not coach mode. Because as a human, I'm just going to run the ball on you for 5 yards or whatever a tick, and then I'm just going to go and do this, and then get us in scoring position, and I'm just going to, like, cut you apart with Chad Henne. And then what's the point? Let's just hand it off here to the right, and then let's stand here, and let's throw this, and get wide open, and then get in the end zone and put points on the board, and suddenly it's like 38 to whatever. Right? That's where it's like, okay, let's hand it off here. And that's what I want to see. Like, they get the pressure, and that's just like the pass. Right? And then we say RB, and like we're going to pressure this edge here. We're going to get this. It's the kick out. Oh, that's the kind of stuff I want to see. Right? They've got this edge kicked out here. We're going to hand the ball off. 89 just... Oh, I love this. I love this. This is what I want to see in the game. Right? Jokel and 77. 76 and 77 work together. Right? Gets outside leverage. Pops. Picks up the hole. 89. Mercedes Lewis. He's riding with the defender. And he's going outside. So Mercedes Lewis, instead of trying to take over outside, he says, ride you out. And we're going to cut behind you. And then we've got our fullback and our tight end on the other side. Or the other tight end. Just leading, splitting, giving me a lane to run through. And Mercedes Lewis, you've got to finish driving that block so he can't turn around and make this tackle. And we could potentially house that, right? Like, that's a good scheme. That's a kind of play that I want to be able to run. So with all my ranting here, I see something going on in the end zone. Is this touchdown? It looks like touchdown, Patrick. 25-27. Got to go for 2 to try to tie this game, right? With 43 seconds left. Alabama's cheering. I'm assuming for their defense to stop the 2-point play. Or did I already miss that? Are they huddling up or talking over for this 2-point play? I guess they missed it or something, right? Because now it's the kickoff. So there's no time left. And you've got to, like, onside it, right? I guess that maybe that's why they're happy they stopped the 2-point play, right? Okay. So now it's just like it's kneel down time. The game's over, right? It's a penalty and they have to try again? Okay. So we're trying to watch this onside kick. And there's a scrum for it. And did they get it? They got it! They fucking got it! White ball! White ball! Let's fucking go! Let's go! College football. You isn't it kind of silly that you can still surprise onside kick in college football, but not in the NFL? Yeah. I still like John Boyce's answer from many, many years ago, and it's not his idea, but he's the one that shared it popularly. The kickoff shouldn't exist anymore. It just shouldn't exist as a play. It should be like 4th and 15. I mean, maybe it's a bad idea. Maybe I'm wrong. But I like the idea. It's 4th and 15. You punt it. Or you fake punt it. Or you just go for it. And if it's too easy to get 4th and 15, which I think they said like the percentages of getting 4th and 15 was pretty small. Did they intercept it? No, they ended up getting the ball. 4th and 15, like the percentage chances, I think, were something akin to what the old like onside kick was. And while he's getting pressure, he's looking, he's buying time. Like, just because you got the ball doesn't mean anything. You got to do something with it. The whole thing about 4th and 15 is, like I said, the surprise punt, like the go for the fake punt, whatever. Like if everyone's just bailing or whatever, and you fake it, and you can do some crazy stuff with it, and punt returns are far more interesting. And the other thing is, you can block punts. Like imagining the opening punt is blocked, like to start the game, so the opening kickoff, it's the opening punt. And the special teams comes in and houses it, or they come in and they block it in their face to start the game. Like, how crazy and wild would that be? Like, I think an opening punt instead of an opening kickoff is both safe and more exciting. And it's just that's just an arm punt to Alabama, and now he's going to return it. You're just going to return it. You're going to try to house this thing on their face. Okay. Disappointing ending. But yeah, I think the factor that you can have the fake punts, you can have the punter run, the Josh Mormon or whatever it was of was it the Oilers, the Titans, or no, it was the Bills, right? Yeah, the Bills. How he was like super fast, and just like fake punts it and then runs himself. Or you get like the bad bailing coverage and then he throws it behind like a hook or something. Like that could be the surprise go for it. You can literally just send your offense out there. You go with the coin flip. They win the coin flip. They defer to the second half. The other team comes out and they're just like, we're going to start by going for it on 4th and 15. Like, I think that stuff's more interesting than the way the onside kicks and all that are. I think that's just like weird stuff if I were to solve it. Okay. This formation, in theory, we've got 2 play actions there. We got a 3rd play action here, a 4th play action, a 5th play action. Yeah, 5 play actions. Right? So we got 5 play actions out of 18 plays. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So half of the plays are runs. And then the other half of 9, 5 are play actions and 4 are regular passes, right? Tight end option and post are 1, 2. X slant is 3. And Bengal Y option is number 4. So that's a good balance, don't you think? Now the next thing that we want to look at is going to cut the number of runs, though, is the idea of the fullback dive, flipping it. Let's see what the regular play is. First, do they respect MJD? Okay, well, I just let the computer run that. But at least if this is supposed to hold the defender, like, hey, MJD is going out, so he's held the defender, I can understand it. But you're just running it up the gut in your face like that. Wow, they got the onside kick and then they just blew it, to try to go for it. I also don't understand this. 77-76. You know that this is an inside run. 63 gets that it's an inside run, and he's trying to peel to go to the linebacker. Why aren't you guys double peeling like a duo block? This should be duo. It shouldn't have 76 kicking out like that. It should be duo with inside lead. One of them takes the linebacker, and the other one leads our way through the hole. It should be duo. And then we looked at the other aspect, like I said. Is the halfback holding the defender? So that's the thing. is there value in the fullback run but flipping it weak side? Four or 5 yards is value. I would say so. Now, you're not going to run it inside like that. But you've got the double team off the nose. But see, even this, I would run this to the edge, right? But you double team the nose, you pop off with the center, you get to the linebacker spot. Are you holding anyone with this, like, fake? Let's say the corner, like you're holding with the fake. Because the next layer, let's do, where is it? Fullback fake, halfback flip. I'll run it inside, and then we're going to flip it out here. And that can be something, but I had to, like, wiggly wormy the blocks. They're going to come up in the box like that, but I'm actually going to hand it off like this. Weak side. That could be something. There's some money in there. Right? Yeah, there's some value in there. And the fullback pulls the attention of the linebacker. So let's just get helmet on helmet, and then we pitch it backside. There's some value in that. Right, but we have to know that we're not accounting for that edge. That's what we have to know. That's what we have to be aware of. So I don't mind it. But the next layer is, how does the computer handle these passing plays? And we're going to have to figure that out a little bit later. I'd like to find it out in this video. I might even like just delete this and just like, it's just live for fun. But I want to eat. I want to watch this. I want to play. I want to kind of do everything. I don't mind. Like, if you mind that I eat on camera, because I don't want to be like gross. Not on camera, but you know, like on microphone, like run some stuff, have some food, play. Like, I'm not going to talk with a mouth full, but I want to play ball here, you know? And I need to go back to the drawing board, and we need to find solutions to these plays. And at least on paper, I'm willing to try these 18 plays out. I need to try this offense out and see what's going on with these plays that do and don't work, because we did not run these with like Tom Brady or anyone to see if they actually worked. We just went through these in practice, and I talked about the X's routes and how the route combinations worked and blah, 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 but we didn't actually sit down and see if they actually function correctly in the video game for the quarterback, like what they're doing. And the other layer that I wanted to talk about here, Patrick, that I wanted to go live before we started talking about the college football game here, is this twin tight end slot stuff. We spent like a whole video, and if Denny's watching this later or whatever, hey, shout out Denny. Sometimes I'm just asking myself, what the fuck are we even doing here? Like, what is the point of some of these plays? And I guess it's like, the point is to do the zone runs, and then the play action with the fork and the boot. I think that's like the core play. The play action tight end screen. I think the wide receiver screen, like verticals maybe, but wide receiver screen probably just needs to eat shit. And stick, Bucks option like a little bit. We have 9 plays. We might even need to go down to like 6 plays. Halfback weak zone, strong zone is 2. Play action boot and fork is 3, 4. And then 5, 6 would be what? Like the tight end screen and verticals. I guess 7, 8, and 9 is stick, Y option, and screen. So whatever. Okay, fine. Play action steal or sail is like from based on the weak run. Play action dig is based on the strong run. So we've got the slam and the dive. We got the belly weak. We got the stick, smash drive, all that. Yeah, we need to see how they work. Cowboys comebacks, we've got the counter weak and the counter waggle. But we have to be able to establish the run first and foremost. We have to like threaten them with these running plays. That's the key. We have to threaten them we have to come out with a pass play, like tight end spot or whatever, and then run the ball at them so that we can set up the play action. That really has to be the fundamental purpose of that. This Eagle Trips was giving us a lot of success on the ground, like spreading them out and just running them inside. It was giving us a lot of success. And I didn't really mess with a bunch. And it says, I'll use Buck's Y Stick a lot. Yeah, Patrick, I would use Buck's Y Stick as well as a human. Right? It's this one, right? Buck's Y option, or you said Buck's Y you said Buck's Y and then stick a lot? Yeah, because that one, that's what you mean. Buck's Y Stick, that's the name. As a human, we get it. You've got a slant, you've got basically the dragon concept, right? You've got dragon right here, and you can read dragon. And as you're dropping back to read dragon, you also have the stick clear. Like, it's a very good football play. But I don't have confidence that the computer, even Tom Brady, can handle it in the video game version. Right? Like, as a human, like, I can just do this, right? Like, let's restart the Jags franchise with Blaine Gabbert or Chad Henne. And because I really kind of want to, but I also don't want to. I don't want you to, like, lose confidence in me. I'm just, like, speaking honestly here. Like, I don't want you to lose confidence and faith in me that, I'm going to restart it if I don't like it or whatever. I'm trying to go 4-0 with the fucking Jags. Like, no, I'm just so sick. I'm sick in my stomach watching Chad Henne throw the dumb picks that he was throwing. Right? I want to be able to drop back and, like, do this as a human. Right? I want to get beat because of talent. But I just want to be able to, like, run an offense and be like, okay, you're going to leave this gap wide open. Like, let's just hand it off. And then you want to split the double team or do whatever. Okay, great. But we're going to come out like this. And, like, again, let's assume that we want to read here the slant. Like, I can just 3-step drop it and Bill Walsh this thing and do what we practice, right? Like, go into practice and do what Bill Walsh told us and do what we're supposed to in this West Coast offense and just go 1, 2, 3, plant, throw, and then get the ball out. Right? But that's what I can do as a human. What is the point of having 69 awareness versus 99 awareness? What is the point in having an elite quarterback versus not elite quarterback? If as the human, I can just make everyone play like this. Right? I don't have to have 99 throw accuracy deep or whatever and no. I just need to be able to just drop back and operate a system and, like, complete out to my tight end and pick up 10 yards, right? I can do that by myself and probably gut the computer. And I'm not guaranteeing, like, a 16-0 season, right? But it's like, okay, take the sack. The route was muddy. We got hit, right? Like I say, that everything was muddy. There's probably a read here that I missed while I'm talking and distracted and thinking about food at the same time. But with 3-step drop, and, like, it's all kind of taken care of. That's probably what was wide open. But with 3-step drop, and we're reading, like, okay, the slant isn't there, but also the read is a little muddy here to the tight end. Maybe we could complete it. But the way they're in man, I'll probably have to run. But you get the idea. Like, I can just operate the offense as a human. But I'm willing to bet that I could just crush the computer with air quotes, like, anyone at quarterback, right? But I want to know, can I just come out and call these plays with Blaine Gabbert or with Chad Henne and, like, actually operate them? Is there a value in going into play now, using the Jaguars as is, seeing if Henne can operate the offense when he's not on cold streak? Is there a value? I'm not saying we have to restart the franchise, but is there a value in the cold streak they give us to start the season because of preseason? Is there a value in, like, hiding the quarterback for 4 weeks for the cold streak to go away by throwing screens and easy passes and then letting him come out and, like, actually, like, develop? Does any of that make sense? Let's do that. Let's go in here and play now. Let's play as the Jags. And let's play with Gabbert and Henne in a game that doesn't matter. Jags. Let's host the Colts. Okay. And let's do it coach mode where the cold streak stuff isn't working. And we just run the plays and we see how it goes. And on defense gives me a chance to eat. And I've left my stream open, and I believe it's like Tennessee or someone that's open right now. And then it says here in the chats, I can see you. I like that the drag route to the outside from the second tight end, very leaky. There's a value with testing out the cold streak. You'll always wonder otherwise. Yeah, I don't want to restart my franchise. And I kind of am okay. Here's the other factor. I'm kind of okay with just keep eating shit this year, eating the salary cap, going with Scott, going with other players, having the quarterback controversy story, having all of that happen, and going into the draft and like running Scott for a year or two, whatever, because I don't think we have any good quarterbacks in our draft class that we've scouted previously. We're not going to have the solution to the quarterback position. And just like in real life, it took them years before they got Trevor Lawrence, and he hasn't been the solution either. But you get the point. It's like there's not just a one-year turnaround solution, right? But is there something to be said about the cold streak aspect? Did we just cut bait too soon? Could we have done things to hide Chad Henne without having the salary cap and like the bad storyline? Is there something we could have done as a user? Is there something I could have done better to have a better product for you to watch? That, I know it's stupid, but I like how they've 3D modeled Blaine Gabbert and all them, and how they actually look like the real person. And I like that more than like generic football player. You're experiencing a very realistic feeling. Yeah, I want a good product. If you're on my channel and you're watching it, I want to be worth your time. You, Patrick, Denny, everyone that comes to my channel, Alter, everyone who's watching this later, Vic Vids, everyone. I want a product that you can join and you say, I'm spending my time watching Paul's videos and interacting because it's fun. And I don't want cheese. Like, that's not who I am. Like, oh, how can we cheese the game? Like, look at this X route and how we, as a user, we go, blah. Like, I don't like that stuff. Like, if there's an audience for that. There's a Madden Ultimate Team audience for that kind of stuff. I like the idea of, like, trying to be simulation style. I want the rebuild to feel like I'm rebuilding. Right? So, here, what's our first difference? Awareness, 60 versus 69. So, let's have Chad Henne thing can happen. Right? And let's, again, have force set. Be the starter. So same situation, but here we go. Kick return middle. Controller set down while I take some salad. And we're going to come out here with iPro. Play action scissors. Ready to put this guy in motion. You have two high safeties. So we're just going to hand the ball off. We're going to kill, touch the side of our helmet. Motion. Nasty. Ready, set, hit. Hand the ball off, let go of the controller, let Forsett do what he does. We're on the right hash mark. So we probably want weak eye twins or something. You just said it, Patrick. Trust the process. That's what I want. I want the good product. So, we're coming out in weak eye twins. We have an opportunity. We've got the field. We've got the boundary. We've got the classic Kyle Shanahan play-action boot left. We want the quarterback to be able to fake to the right. He's a right-handed quarterback, but roll out to the left and then produce a passing play, a nice completion. You've got a high-low read. You've got a dig coming across the formation. They're single high like this, so they're stacking the box against the run. So we're going to make them sell and reward them because we're going to run the ball on them, and oops, gotcha, bitch. Actually, it's a rollout, and he's going to throw like this, and he's going to catch it, and it's not a stupid interception. We've got 3rd and inches, and the ball is on the left hash mark. And because of the situation, we're probably going to come out in twin tight ends flip so that the wide receiver is to the field. So let's go back out here. Let's go to I formation, twin tight ends flip, go to the side of the field. We're going to call some kind of play action boot flow. Yeah, here. So we're going to fake run it. They're not coming out in the box to stop us. They've got 4 defenders to the left. They've got the edge a little bit, so we're going to go ISO right up the middle. We're going to try to double team this nose and attack the linebacker and see what we got. We kick out. We got Forsett, got the ball, and gets out there. Really good. Now, again, we're on the left hash, so we're going to come back to regular I formation. And last time, we called play action scissors, and we did not actually snap the ball. So the Colts have not seen us run that actual play. They're going to come out again. They're going to come out in a bare front. So all three, our guards and our center are covered. But we're going to call the same play we did on the first down, and now they're really going to tighten up. We're going to hit aggressive offensive line play. We're going to snap it as time one's down. And Forsett has got his hand on the stiff arm. We pick up 4 yards. It's a good game. We're near the right hash mark, which means here we want to come out with strong eye to the right with twins. So let's go strong eye twins. So we got receivers to the field. We're going to come out and we're going to give them a play action, maybe fullback fake, because we're willing to just dive this up with the fullback if we have to. And they know they are because they've film studied us, and we are willing to do it. And they're going to give us the edge here. So because they're going to give us the edge, we're just going to straight up stretch them as there are 3 defenders to the right of the center. And we're going to hit slide right for the offensive line, because we're just going to straight up boom attack them like that. They're going to pinch out, and Forsett's going to take it off to the edge. He's going to take it down the sidelines, and we've got something good. We're here now with, again, the ball on the right hash mark, and we've just shown them strong right. So now I think we're going to go with straight up I twins, give them another twins look, but another formation, so we at least have a different alignment here. And with this, we're going to do a play-action Charger sail, because we want the sail here past the 50-yard line. We have the potential, the possibility of a human touchdown shot here with Blackman. You can see as his angle literally takes him to that pylon. So a touchdown shot is possible, but they are too high off the board. So we're going to do a weak ISO run, because they're 4 blocks to the right, and then we're going to aggressive attack, and we're going to snap the ball, and the fullback is going to punch it up, and then we pick up 4 yards, and we're really happy with it, which means we're now on the left hash mark, and we're ready to go back to a regular I formation pro, and we're ready to go back to scissors again, a play we're trying to call for the 3rd time and still haven't snapped yet. What are they going to do? They've got 3 defenders right of center, but they're in the box a little bit more. So we're going to kill this play, and we're going to go back again with the halfback slam, and we're going to go with the aggressive attack. And we're just going to hand the ball off yet again, double team, punch here, go off to the right, spin move by the computer, 2 yards by Shoelace as our backup running back, gave him a chance to do something. We're now looking at 3rd and 4, so you can convert something on the ground. So we're going to show them the same formation again of strong eye twins. And 4 yards is not enough for fullback fake, so no one's going to fall for that. We are going to call play action fullback slide, though, so we're going to have that classic Kyle Shanahan boot left, make the throw, because most of these should be caught for a 1st down if we got it. They're boxed up. We've got a touchdown shot to Blackman if he takes it. Okay, we're calling it out, and then we snap the ball against their formation, and he rolls, and then he checks it down, and Mercedes Lewis catches it, and we move the chains. We're here at 25-yard line, so we're in the green zone. Sometimes people have the green zone is 5 yards or whatever. I consider inside the 30 or whatever we want to take touchdown shots. This is where we want to go single back, and we want to start looking at touchdown shots. It can be single back, not twin tight end trips or anything like that, eagle trips. And we want to start looking at touchdown shots. And they can be in the form of these wide receiver in play actions. They're single high, so they're going to respect the run, which we also had in a real life game. We're going to tighten the split, so we're going to nasty over. And we're going to try to take a shot with Brown like wheeling out or Cecil Shorts underneath, point out the blocks and snap it, hand it off, looking. What do you got, Henny? What do you got? Touchdown shot! Henny without the cold streak gets the ball into the fucking end zone. What is up? How you like that, Patrick? That would have been good football on my channel, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that have been fun to watch? That was fun to execute. Explain it step by step, strategically get down the field and do something. Did the cold streak kill us? Do I really, I don't want to restart, but do I need to restart? And then, hide the quarterback? Because that's what I want. I want to be able to operate like that without the human doing anything. Just calling plays, explaining what we're doing, and march the football down the field. That's what I want. Kickoff. I'm going to start having lunch and then and just calling basic plays. even if that's our only touchdown of the game, that's what a drive should look like. They're doing the same thing to us. We're going to go with over because we're on the right hash mark. We're going to go 2-man under in case they come out in twins. They do not come out in twins, so we're going to go with cover 3. We're going to readjust the alignment. We're going to kick the lineman to the right. We're going to make sure we cover the sidelines. And he's just breaking tackles. So this is one of the quick explanations I can give. We're on the right hash mark. So we have all of this football field. So we're putting the linebackers here towards the football field. And we're putting the defensive line here. And there's a reason for that, like how we want to align in general, unless they give us a reason. We come out with cover 5, which is 2 deep, man under. Sometimes it's called 2-man. Other times it's called cover 5. And we want to do that in case they come out with 2 wide receiver sets and they come out with the wide receivers in twins. If they come out with the receivers in twins, we just want to stay in man. But if they're not in twins, we want to change to zone. Then we press the Y button, which is like coverage, and we press right on the D-pad, which is like base alignment. And then we press Y coverage again, and we press right thumbstick up, which is cover the sidelines. And then we also take the defensive line, and we use either crash, pinch, or slide the line to like one side. Not slide the line, but like crash their where they're going with the defensive line to one side or the other. So basically, we end up with 5 on the line of scrimmage. Our 4 down linemen and our linebacker are 5 on the line of scrimmage. We definitely have someone to the right of the center from the defense's perspective, right to the center towards the field. Then we have the edge man, and then we have another edge. So 55 is off the edge of the tight end. Here's the edge of the tackle. Here's the edge of the center, splitting the guard and all of that. And doing that keeps usually this linebacker free. We also have someone pushing the edge here, pushing the edge here, and we can fill gaps. If it goes this way, this linebacker can fill this gap, and this linebacker can flow here. And if it goes to this side, we have flowing outside, and then 50 can flow in here into this gap. So there's a reason for it. And as he moves, our defensive tackle doesn't keep 50 clean, as 75 is able to release to 50. So this is a problem with 99 not playing good as football as he should. Marks is getting bumped off instead of occupying the double team. And so that's why Allen, as he flows over, and the cutback by Richardson, we still have a safety filling in the box as part of the cover 3. So that's deep zone. This is a flat zone coverage player, and he's not over committing to the stretch. He's not running across the field to stop the stretch. He knows that he's got like the backside cutback lane, which he fills that cutback lane, and then he just gets run over, which again, I don't mind losing. I get so fucking sick and tired of that animation, but I don't mind losing because schematically I put my guy in position to make the stop, right? That's what we're trying to do. And then you said Oklahoma intercepted Texas on 3rd down. So I'm going to check that out. I'll check out the games that are available now. But you get the idea of this is the defensive scheme. Because I don't know, Patrick, if it was you, if it was Alter, who was it that was asking me to cover defense. But there's a reason. Like, I have defense like as air quote bland, boring, but consistent. And it's all about my individual players. Like, if I had Cam Chancellor here, like, he would knock the running back out. Whereas this like 62, or no, I think we've got like an 80-something safety. It's a little bit different story. So they're on the hash mark to the right. So we're going to go back with the odd front. We're going to go with 2-man under. No, we're going to flip this, okay? And now they are in this 2 wide receivers to the right-hand side. So they're going to play action, fake, they're going to launch it, and we're going to knock down the interception, and suddenly it's going to be punt time. Right? No, now it's 3rd and 2. Okay. 2 running backs, 2 blah, blah, blahs. We're going to go with over, 2 men under. The same thing. How do they come out with? Like that. So let's go cover 3. Base alignment like that. And you can see it again. So we did the same thing. We go to instant replay. We came out in man. We audibled to zone. We coverage to base alignment. We went to deep zone. And again, you can see how the alignment is, how everyone is taking care of their responsibilities. We've got 4 to the left. We definitely have to have 4 to the left. And again, as I said, the defensive alignment has to be to the left of center. The defensive point of view is to the right of center because we have to respect them running the ball to the left. We've got 3 on the line of scrimmage. So our nose tackle is taking care of the center. And then our other 2 men on the line of scrimmage have to take care of these 2 offensive blockers. And then we have to have our only other 2 players that can potentially worry about making the tackle. So here, our safety is in the hole, so he cannot worry about runs because it could be a play action fake and any route that can be a post towards him, so he's called the hole defender. So he's not part of the run coverage. So that's why we have here 3 here, and this is a 4th against what would be 1, 2, and then 3 as a blocker, especially if they try to pull a guard over to the weak side. We need to counter that pulling guard with the other linebacker here. So our 4 against their 3. If they pull, they get to 4, but if they pull, then we've also got 5 against their 4. That's the point. Whereas strong side, we're just trying to occupy the center with a weak side nose tackle. We're trying to get a double team here. We're trying to get a double team here, trying to eat stuff. And we're trying to get like edge defenders. We're trying to have the safety up in the box that can take that edge. And we're trying to have linebackers flow play side. So as you see, they go play side. They pull the guard. We eat the double teams exactly like we wanted. So we eat the double teams, and they're pulling with +2, and our linebackers and everyone are flowing to the run. So we're getting pushed off the ball, and we're filling this gap. You see 51 is filling this gap backside because Marks has his gap, right? Everyone has their gap. They get popped, they get popped, they get popped, but everyone is like, okay, you're just going to run into a wall. And then we've got our edge defender. Again, if we consider where the ball was snapped, was there, so the first down marker is here. They just blew us off the ball, and they were going to have the first down, but the fact is we didn't have the speed, we didn't have the power, we didn't have the hit power to take it to the running back. So we got blown up, and they moved the chains. But then as a team defense, that's the other thing, as a team defense, we come up and we swarm to the ball, right? So Alter has shown up. Let's go, Alter. Your name has been invoked a few times in today's video, along with other people. What's up, Alter? And when I say I don't spend too much time working on defense, there is a reason why, because it can be boring for a lot of people. It's not so sexy. But that's why my defense is air quotes like boring. And then we have the same thing with normal. Like the concepts are the same as you see the cover 3s and all of that. We're just trying to do box numbers and everything. Are they going to go 3 by 1? And that's one of the things I said. Okay, they're not 3 by 1. So we're going to do cover 3, and we're going to flip it so the corner is where he needs to be. Oh my god, and we were self-controlling, so that's what the problem was. Like, I'm not saying ignore that play, but ignore that play because we were allegedly still moving the controller, and I was trying to explain it instead of just do the button presses. So the idea is they are stacked 2 by 2. So tight end and wide receiver is 2 to one side, 2 wide receivers to the other. So it's not man coverage. We want to be zone. Because we're in zone, we then want to flip the play. We want to flip the play so that we show that the corner is lined up against the other guy, even though we're in a cover 3. After we flip the play, so we audible to cover 3. Then we flip the play so we're aligned correctly. Then we do base align, and the last thing I wanted to do was have the defensive line shift to the left. So we still have this situation where it's a little bit different. You can go watch the YouTube channel Match Quarters, go into great detail about defense. But the fact of the matter is basically, we cannot count our corners in run coverage, and we cannot count our deep hole defender here in run coverage. So the run coverage is really coming from this safety. So in a lot of ways, you have to think about this safety instead as our weak side linebacker, this as our middle linebacker, and this as our strong linebacker. And while Povzlesny is technically the Mike linebacker in terms of the depth chart, he's really our Sam linebacker, and this is our Mike, and this is our Will. Our Will Blackman. Whoa! Okay, so our Sam, our Mike, and our Will, but he's just from a safety position in terms of matching personnel, but also in scheme of a 7-man in the box, because they have their 5 in the box in the runner. They have their tight end, which makes 6 in the box, right? And then anyone else have their jack in the box? Okay, so 6 in the box, and we've got 7 defenders there against their 6, which means we should be +1 in run defense, in run support. So they try to hand it off strong side. We eat the double team across the board, and we're supposed to have 97 is supposed to free up 55, who's a little late coming across and then gets bumped out of the play. But that's also part of the read coverage where I was user controlling and not playing against the quarterback because I was still pushing the buttons and I didn't realize I had it on there. Otherwise, we would have stopped Andrew Luck dead to rights. And we would have had additional help here. But we were literally standing around like a fucking idiot. So that's my defense in a whole, and it's just the same thing over and over and over again. I don't like cover 1 because they get beat on their route coverages, and I don't like cover 4. It's too freaking soft. I don't like a lot of the blitzes because the video game AI of the offensive line, like let's say we get a blitz, they'll just take like the tackle and like pull him all the way across the formation and block your overload blitz. So like the blitzing is just not realistic and bad. So you just have to play vanilla defense and play your run gaps and then hope the quarterback makes mistakes or you get some wins up front and you get some block sheds or whatever. And you just got to play vanilla defense all the way up and down the field, coming out and cover 2 man under and then audibling to a cover 3, do your adjustments, or stay in the 2 man under and make your adjustments, and just keep playing the same vanilla defense over and over and over again, and hope that it's good enough to win the game, and hope that you have the talent there. Now, alternate others, I see comments. I just wanted to finish my rant. He said, after looking back at the Broncos game, specifically on the final play, what went wrong was Scott doing an unnecessary scramble. The running back was open, making him throw to the running back late. Absolutely, Alter, and that's my fault because if your Alter's even here anymore, because it says I only have 1 viewer right now, but I hope you are. Maybe the analytics are wrong. That was me taking over. That was me just trying to make a wild play. And honestly, Alter, did you really want us to win that game? Like, I didn't throw the game away. I tried to get him the ball. Right? And I do get it. Like, I'm not mad about that play. But it's like, in the end, the outcome, we lost. In the end, the rookie came out and scrambled around unnecessarily for watching as a fan on TV. I was trying to buy time because a short throw underneath wasn't going to score a touchdown. Right? It wasn't. I wanted to pass lead up and catch it running towards the front goal line as opposed to the back line. I wanted to catch and run in that direction and not just be standing still with your back to the end zone. That's not what I wanted from him. I should have called a better play, and that's the other thing, Alter, or anyone else watching here, is I'm trying to get a better playbook and game plan going so that when we get in these situations, I have plays that I feel more comfortable calling as a coach so that we get better results and I give you a better experience. Patrick says it's called cover 5 because you have 5 guys in man under the cover 2. That's what I'm told, Patrick. And in fact, you brought that up, as I've mentioned it before, and I'll read Alter's comment. It says, fair enough, though I'll do admit that in the second half, the defense did hold them to a field goal, so at least that's a positive note. Yes. What I can do, let's go here, documents, football. Now, this is not everything that I have, but let's go to sources. Let's go to display capture, and let's go here. I have a lot of stuff on my drive in the cloud, but sometimes I move stuff over here. I go to offense. And it says defensive recognition, run install, blah, blah, blah. Maybe the stuff I have is not here. Maybe it is here. It says coverages. This is from the Kyle Shanahan 2018 playbook before the Super Bowl run. So It says 0 base nickel coverages. It's the offensive playbook. You need to identify coverages. 1 deep base man coverages, 1 deep nickel man, 2 deep base coverages. Now, they call this 2 deep base coverages. They have cover 2, which are zones, Tampa 2, cover 2 sky weak, cover 5. There you go, Patrick and anyone else who's watching. Cover 5 is the 2 deep with the 5-man under. So Kyle Shanahan and others, they don't call it, see, it says 2 deep man under. They call it cover 5. So you think cover 0, cover 1, cover 2, right? To Tampa, which is really has a deep third, right? Which is a form of 3. And you can watch Brett Coleman have a really good video about Tampa 2 is really cover 3 and blah, blah, blah. Go check out his stuff. So basically you've got 0 and 1 and 2. We all know cover 3. Cover 4 is palms. So cover 5 is here. Cover 6 is when you split the field in half. You've got palms on one half and cover 2 on the other. So palms is cover 4. 4 and 2 is 6. So like it's math, and they're like, okay, cover 6 is going to be basically a split between 2 and 4. Instead of calling it another version of 3, it's palms and cover 2 split. So there's 6. I forget what 7 is. 8 is basically prevent defense. Right? Because 8 is like you only rush 3 pass rushers and everyone else is in coverage, so it's cover 8. I forget what cover 7 is, to be honest. But I think it's kind of like a 4 with 4D. No, there's a reason for cover 7. I really forget what it is. But it's kind of a way of calling things. And you see the cover 55, cover 3 cloud, cover 3 33s. And why the 33 versus regular? There's 4, there's the 44s, there's the 66s, the 66 Sky Strong and all that. And he doesn't have anything about 7s or 8s. And he's using these double numbers like 33 buzzes and all that. We can go into the different details. But that's basically it, is we want to huddle call that. Now, what's the next thing here? Offense, football, defense. Defense, Vikings, Monty Kiffin. Let me double check here. It says fair enough, that'll do that. Yeah, okay. Monty Kiffin defense. I read this on my channel before and gotten a bunch of ratio thumb downs. Like, people didn't like it. I know it's really like blindingly white. Maybe you're saying, go to dark mode, Paul. This is how the image is. But this is a 5-page PDF by Monty Kiffin while he was with the Minnesota Vikings. And he's talking about a lot of what I've just said about having the safety and the corners and the boxes and the alignments and the fronts. Like, he diagrams all this stuff, and what I just said about like being in the box safety and the run support and all that kind of stuff. And one of the things that he talks about at a certain point in here is he talks about like the huddle call is the 2-man under, is the cover 2 man under. So he talks about Keith Millard here and blah blah blah. He says something like what they come out in twins or whatever. Yeah, it says the next formation we see a lot of is the slot with both wide receivers on the same side. We play a lot of matchup defense where both corners come to the receivers. We do that because of our man coverage. We can't play rotation weak in this formation. We play our under or eagle to the split inside. We go to an automatic call, which is what we call 2 coverage. That's what they're talking about with the 2 receivers here. Okay, and he doesn't really diagram that up. Here it is. There's the diagram. He said he doesn't, and there it is. This is the diagram that I'm talking about. I thought there was something else, like in terms of like the boxes, like how they're blitzing. But this is what I call as my huddle call. He talks about audibling to it. I don't have time to fuck around and audible to it. I have to break the huddle and see with the coach's cam that they're coming out in slot, in twins. Like they're bunched up like in twins, right? So I already have the man call, and they're already aligned in man like this, and they're already too high, and then we've got our front. And again, you can see how the alignment is that we have the tackle shaded inside, but we also have the Sam kicked over near the tight end and the other 2 back. So they're also bunched up here like this because we have to respect the weak side run. And he goes into great detail about how we want to set that, and then he's got a little bit of adjustment. He says then we want to do this base offense or the under 4 and blah blah blah. He talks about other things that are important, but it's basically stealing from this. I come out of the huddle with cover 5, which is the 2-man under, and if they align like this, we stay in it. And if they come out in base, we have enough time to audible to our cover 3 look. And in our cover 3 look, as we have in the various play arts, especially here, if they don't come out with the slot, we just come out with this basic defense, and we just play basic defense. So I hope that makes sense and where I get it from and my ideas. It's not like I'm some football genius. I just take those ideas. And then say impressive data collection. Sir, I've got a whole bunch of stuff, thank you, on the drive. But the point is I wanted to be able to quickly show these things. But I remember I read that playbook out and I started showing Madden and all this stuff. And my God, I was getting thumbs down and people like were being like haters. It was like I was getting ratioed and it was just like, okay, fine. So you can see here, Fleener and all of them, okay, they're out there, great. And I know it's not 2 wide receivers, it's a big jumbo formation. But you can see it and then they false start. Great. So what is it? 3 wide receivers. Same thing as always. Big nickel, because they can run the ball, so we want our bigger guys. Coming out, and they're in 3-by-1. So Wayne is by himself. So let's kick, let's pinch, and let's go to the side of the field. And there we go. So that's why the huddle call, and that's why the same boring defense, because I said in my other video, boy, they love going 3-by-1, don't they? And when they go 3-by-1, we definitely need the 2 corners to that side, and we need to be man coverage here with the tight end. And then we have Reggie Wayne, and it's not double covered, but we basically have underneath coverage in man on Wayne, and then safety help over the top. So even as he beats us over the top, we're supposed to be helping him, that it's okay that this press release doesn't work. He's not trying to fully press him because we're just bracketing him over the top. And then you're supposed to be able, in this man coverage, to use both the sideline as your friend and the fact that you're not trying to win deep, to not get burnt like that to a crisp. And even if he tries to like out and up you, like, and then what, turn down the field, we're supposed, turn down for what? Turn down the field, like we're supposed to have the safety help peeling. So we're kind of like double covering him without directly calling it double coverage. Okay? So like that's a point of how to try to deal with Wayne, is just put 2 guys on him. And then here, with the 3 receiving targets, we have 1, 2, and then the linebacker 3. So we've got with a safety 4 over the top. So basically we're trying to have 4 defenders against the 3 receiving targets. Right? And that's why we also, very similar to the play art, we're putting the line out here, and then we're also not stunting, but telling the line to like go at that angle here, but they didn't go at that angle, even though I told them, you saw in the video, you saw on the screen, I thought I told them to crash that side. For some reason, they're crashing this side, so maybe I made a mistake. But here they come, and let's say they actually did hand it off. You can see 58 and 97 are holding the blocks, and it leaves 51 free to make a tackle. And then if it goes the other way, if it's a counter or whatever, that we have the bodies to flow, right? And that's also why I wanted them to crash to the field side. I wanted them to crash this way, so he would also crash the edge here, and he would crash towards the tackle, and we'd crash towards the center with our D linemen and all of that. And that's why we wanted to crash to that side. So I hope that makes sense. And suddenly we're at 3rd and 10. There are 3 wide receivers. And usually I like to go 4 defensive ends and then flip it like that, so we have at least pass rushing defensive ends, because we don't care about the run as much. And they're in 2-by-2, so we're going to do that. And then we're going to go to the field. And they're forced to check down against the zone coverage. And they get their completion, and they're in punt situation. So when they came out in man, we saw they were in 2-by-2. We switched over to the cover 3 zone, the base alignment. And then, as everyone you can see, we rotated here into the cover 3, and we tried to stunt to the side. We did. We finally got an actual win against the tackle, and we put pressure on them to just throw it underneath. And with this cover 3, he really can throw here, pass lead underneath T.Y. Hilton. Like, even Andrew Luck is not playing great football, which is another reason why I'm okay with the coach mode instead of human playing, because if Andrew Luck, he's not throwing an interception, but he's under pressure to get hit, and even he's not throwing the correct pass lead down here to T.Y. Hilton. And so if we can face a quarterback who's not making the best reads, neither should our quarterback make the best human reads, if that makes sense. Oh, I've talked a lot, and let me have some salad while the play clock runs down and we get a punt set up. As you said, it's Henny time. Get some Hennessy. iPro form. Hey, play action scissors that we've been trying to run all day. All right. They're coming out. They're in the box. They're respecting our run game. Let's actually run the scissors play that we've been trying to call in the first drive. You're going to hand it off right up the middle, and oop, gotcha, bitch. Little throw check down. Okay, could have been a better throw. That's going to be the penalty for roughing. We're going to decline it. 2nd and 3. We need a new play. So instead of scissors, instead of comeback slide, because we're on the left hash, let's do play action Atlanta dig. This is our new play instead of scissors. The play we're going to try to run. Okay, so we want Bills slam. They're adjusting here. We're going to do aggressive run. And we're going to snap the ball. And Forsett moves the chains. So now we want to go twins to the left. So do we want strong? Do we want weak? What do we want? I think we're going to go back to weak, just like we did last time. Right? He said Ewers is not really playing well. What's going on? Let me know in the chat, because now I'm trying to do this. We've done Charger Sale, right? No, we've tried to call it. Yeah, he did complete it. So let's do play action Raider corner. No, we don't want play action corner. We want tight end out, because Raider corner, we want a different look. We want this play to set up the other play. So now they're coming out like this, and we're happy with the ISO, because they are too high. So we're going to snap it, lead right up the gut, and then he just doesn't make a good read, and he gets stopped, which sets us up with a 2nd and long situation, which we're not happy with. We're still willing to call play actions because we're still willing to run on 2nd down and try to get to a 3rd and manageable situation. But instead of the I formation, let's go with a weak I twins, and we've already called play action boot out, so now let's do a different play action boot out for Chad Henne, which isn't going to be a touchdown shot, but we do have a deep striking shot that if he catches it in stride, he could threaten it. And they're too high, which means that we're willing to just weak blast this thing, especially as they bring the safety up in the box. So we definitely are willing to weak blast it. And he takes it off, and we cannot hold a block, which is part of the offense. We actually lose yards because we can't block well. Which this is how I'm willing to lose football games. I put it in the hands of my guys. We scheme it up. We're going weak side. We get the kick. We have to have the proper running back vision and the proper blocks, because this should just go north and south at this point, not outside. So I'm not completely blaming the tackle. The tackle's like, bro, you're supposed to cut off my rear end and go north and south here, slip through the hole, Forsett. What are you doing? So now here's a big pause. What are we going to do on 3rd and long? Okay? I have created a game plan in the past. Saints seams, smash corner. Okay, we want the plays that we're looking for are in gun empty, Eagle H slot, things like that. And we're really trying to look at things like Saints unders. So we're getting shoelaces in the game. He's going out wide. We're stacked up here with Blackman and all of that. We've got Sanders, Shorts, and Lewis. And we're just trying to go empty and see what we can get. Snap the ball. What does Chad Henne do? He checks it underneath. He gets it to Blackman. It's not enough to convert. It's going to be punt time. There is an opportunity to go for it, but we don't want to go for it on this side of the field. And Henne just does a decent job of completing it underneath. So let's milk this clock. Okay. Gonna have to put my lunch in the microwave. I've allowed it to get cold. Actually, it's still not that bad. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, punt. Didn't get as much power as I would want. It's off. Okay. Big nickel, 2 men under. Okay. 3 by 1. Nice completion. That's a classic stick, and he got it off. Lots of 3 wide and lots of 3 by 1. That's what's up. That is Reggie Wayne, Andrew Luck, sideline catch, beat them on the circus route. That's good football. Pinched it up on the defensive line, play action, and he just circus routes me and gets it wide open. That's what's up. That's good football. Good delivery. Good sideline catch. Let's go. That's how I don't mind losing a football game. Even Luck is just a little off target. Off target. Three by one there. And Luck to T.Y. Hilton. You got it.
Good job by the offense. They get in there. They tie this game up. Now we'll see if the defense can take advantage of that momentum and keep it on their side. The Colts have erased the deficit and can tie it right here. The point after try is in the books.
Henny's third chance. First drive was a touchdown. Second one were some bad runs, and then we just didn't get enough yards to convert, so we went 3 and out. But we put a solid effort. You got to tell me in the chat, Alter. You got to tell me, Patrick. If this works out, do we restart the franchise? I don't want to waste and burn your time, but if we get a good program going, do we restart it just to get better quality games than what we've seen? We try to work our way out of the cold streak. Okay, I formation, and we said we wanted play action Atlanta dig. And we're going to run it again. 3 to the right. Aggressive. It's a staple run for a reason. Justin, you've got to read that better. Now we're going to go twins here. And we wanted to call play action tight end out so we could set up the Raider play later. But we ended up killing to run. Now they're 3 left of center, 4 right of center. So we're going to go to the blast again. And we're in a similar situation, but now we're facing 3rd and 6 instead of facing 3rd and 11. By game plan. Game plan is saying a halfback slip screen out of gun, but we also have Texas trail. We also have bunch trail. I like bunch trail. It's boxed up, so we can't just try to run it on them. What do you got with Buck's trail? A little check down, nothing's there, and we're punting, but it's not an interception. And Henne is now 6 of 6 throwing. Do we want 100% Chad Henne? Was that a good call? Was that a trash call on this 3rd down play? I'd also say that he should be dragging. I think this might be like a mental error because I believe this is an option, and he should drag to open space. Right? Like, he should pull across the formation, catch it in open space, and turn upfield. I have to see, is this an option choice route, and he chose the wrong choice? Because with the wide trail, like, that should be where he should go. We're going to punt it, but I want to go back and look at that bunch play. Formation, gun, bunch. Yeah, I think bunch trail is what we called. And he had the choice. And he made the wrong choice. So I think there's also an issue of, I guess it has like a stop. And then he can go. I don't know how much of it is the bad choice by the route runner. Or that's the default route. And he has to have a reason to continue to cross it. But I believe that's it, and we can simply say, hey, you made the wrong choice on a choice route, and you need to make the better choice so we can move the chains. We may cut the play because they don't make the right choice. We may keep it. I don't know. There we go. There's the run defense. Worked as intended. Two by two. Knocked it out. Let's go. 4 defensive ends. 2 men under. Slant to the field. 2 by 2. Sugar bluff. Slant to the field. Check down. We make the tackle. He rolls over us, moves the chains. Great job by Allen to catch it short of the marker and still turn it into something. Back to normal base. Back to 2 man under. 3 by 1. We stay in that look. Everyone blocks well. He runs over our guy and finally gets tackled. 3 wide receivers. Back to 2 man normal. More 3 by 1. And they just run it inside.
The NFL is about situations. A good job by the runner knowing where the first down was, hits it there, and he moves those chains.
2 men under. They got a twins look. We're going to knife to the edge, which is good that we do. And they pitch out, and they just pick everything up and run us over. What can we do more as a defense here? Let's just take a look at this front. Probably should have flipped it because of their strength. Literally should flip this because of their strength. That's on me. Despite the hash mark they're on, because they're in twins to that side, we should know, I should know, to flip it towards the tight end, but stay in the man coverage, and that's on me. Three by 1. Luck is going to run. Let's go.
Well, your offensive line is not good enough just to stop the pass rush, so you got to help them out. How do you do that? Well, you keep the tight end in, let him be an extra blocker, And you tell your money backs to help out too, watching some of these defensive linemen. Hayward Bays lined up in the slot. 3rd and 9. Spring. There's a flag right there. Big tackle for a loss. You took a few of these shots in your day. That's a late hit on the quarterback. Yeah, nowadays these guys, I believe the quarterback is overprotected. To me, this is a bad call. The defensive player feel bad. All he's doing is his job, and he still gets penalized 15 yards. Marching down the field and taking their time. Here's the handoff to Mark Bradshaw. Defensive tackles, they have to be athletic. They have to fight off the blocks. He did a good job that time. Gets away from them. The tackles the running back.
3-4 defense.
What a drive this has been. 2nd and goal from the 7. Right back to him one more time. He cannot let
More 3-4 defense. Nope. Big nickel.
the defensive end that time. Well, he was on the end. He stopped that run for very little gain. Mounting a serious drive. There's a yellow marker down on the field.
False start.
This long drive continues. Andrew Luck in shotgun formation. Makes the grab. Touchdown.
And luck being luck. Touchdown.
Anytime in is 3rd and goal. You've got to decide, what are we going to do? Well, this time the offense, nice design. They throw the football, and the quarterback puts it right on the money for the touchdown pass. And the extra point is good. Colts are ready to kick it.
Just for variety, we need to come out with a different offense than just the I formation and then just running all 3 drives straight basic I. We need something else. I think we want some single back. We want this flipped. And we want to play action boot left, but it's actually boot right. See if he can handle a flipped play. They're in the box, so we're going to bend out towards his arm strength side, towards the field. Can he handle a flipped play? He rolls. He checks down. We don't get very much. The defense plays it really well. Let's come out single back like that. Now we can call the fork version of it, since the regular boot didn't work. We can click aggressive. And they played great defense, and they set us up in a 3rd and long situation. So we tried the play action against the box. Forsett just gets killed, and we also don't get a really good block up here. We just don't get the aggressive block. Like, we got the edge here. We got the double team edge here, but Jokel couldn't finish the job, which, again, I'm fine losing football games because of this. That puts us in a 3rd and long situation. The game plan is talking about things like a screen. Now, I don't mind a screen here because we're in such a far distance situation. To legitimately come out with, like, steal our slot and then kill to a screen. Now, why did I have halfback sub, and yet Forsett is out there. And they're like, we're going to protect against that screen. Did we move the chains? I think we moved the chains.
This one requires a measurement. And it's a first down.
All right, play action tight end screen. Our third play action out of this first set.
Shorts in the slot.
Just run it weak on them. Actually, lol, it's a screen. And they snipe it out.
Good job by the defense.
They sniff it out with 93.
The offense, and now they have a good situation.
Okay, we're going to have to look at play action wide receiver dig.
So they complete that one, yet it's still second down. As they go ground here, that's a gain of 8.
Hey, 3rd and 5, manageable situation here.
When you run off tackle, one of the things you're looking for is
So we want to bunch to the narrow side of the field. And we can call tight end angle. Now, I see comments have popped up. Sorry for being late. It says Texas is up 7-3 on a touchdown pass from the tight end. Awesome. To the tight end pass. Okay. Should have called Tampa 2 in that end zone. Yeah, we could have. That's not a bad idea. The thing is, one thing I hate, Patrick, about Tampa 2 in this video game is like they play the front of the end zone too much, and they just leave the back of the end zone wide open. And also with the Tampa 2, the middle linebacker will just run to the back like of the field goal post, and he'll just cover like right in front of the field goal post, and he'll just leave the front of the end zone wide open, which is where the ball was thrown to anyway. As a human, I might just throw to Blackman, but I'm going to let Henney do it. Oh, look, Blackman's going to get wide open. Oh, he threw it to Blackman, but not as a human, so it was incomplete. Hey, he threw where I wanted him to throw to. He just wasn't accurate. He actually read it. So what's up, Patrick? What's up, Alter? What y'all thinking? Like, part of me is like, is this really just the consequence of the Colt streak? Is that really what it is? Three by one.
defensive tackle that can get in the backfield and sack the quarterback. That is something special. Great job that time on the big D tackle. We've hit the 2-minute warning here in the first half. A very timely sack on third down, and they'll have to punt it away. He's going to try and return this punt, and they tackle him there at the 34.
Two-minute offense. Gun. 3 timeouts. Gun normal. Skin seams. Flip the play, tight end on the line of scrimmage. 2 receivers of the boundary, the other receiver here. Inside zone. Aggressive. Hand it off. Run. Hurry up offense. We go back to our normal play. I want to flip it. Again, putting guys here. We're going to counter it. We're all set up. Aggressive blocking. Lean to the left. Blocking, slide left. Ready? Center's pointing everything out. The clock is ticking, but that's part of the hurry up offense. He's looking. We're ready for it. The kick out. We can call a timeout as we cross midfield. Time management. Gun normal. Flip. Drive sail. We're not afraid of running the ball and getting into field goal range. They know that we're not afraid of that. They're stacking the box. Making the call. The center is looking around. He's looking for the quarterback. He's ready. We snap it. He looks. He fires. He's got it. Sideline. Hurry up. Hurry up. Move, move, move. Move, move, move. Levels divide. Flip the play. We're all set. Center's checking. Looking. Ready. Snap it. Ooh, hit. Now that interception, if that had been a pick, I would not have been angry at Henne. The coverage, like the pass protection wasn't there. They boxed it up. They sent 6 guys at the quarterback. We only had 5 pass protection. He's under a lot of pressure. The ball got popped in the air. If that's a pick, that's not a stupid Henne pick. That's him just trying to make the regular read. We did have the release out here. We just didn't have the time to make a read. It wasn't a pick. And then you said very accurate, tight window throws for the first down. Yeah. And then let's see. I have other comments. Actually, I have multiple comments here. It said the cold streak is definitely killing him. He made big throws on the first drive of this game. Very accurate, tight window throws for first downs. Yeah. I think that you're absolutely right. Your observation is absolutely spot on. Do we have a play here? Play action dig. No one's going to fall for play action here. Drag under. Drag under could definitely be a play. We're definitely faking the corner with Blackman and then bending it back inside. We've got a little bit of a Mills protection here, and then we're dragging away. We've got Lewis. We've got a lot of different things here that we can see, and we've got 2 timeouts in our pockets. We can just inside zone this. I don't mind handing it off with 40 seconds to play and 2 timeouts. Block it up. Let us run the ball right up the middle. Take it. Burn a timeout. We still got 1 in our pocket. We just picked up 10 yards on the run. We got the ball closer. Easier for a field goal. Easier for a touchdown shot if we're going to take one. Okay. Now, we have Ace Sanders in the slot. So what we're going to do is we're going to do play action jet sweep. Okay? We are willing to jet sweep in this situation with another timeout in our pocket and the sidelines. So we're going to go in motion against a box front that they know that we can do that. We also have Sanders like on a wheel late for a touchdown. Let's see if Henne can pay attention to that. Blackman could be a front end zone line touchdown as well. We're coming out of the timeout. We're setting up. We're in the huddle. We're out of the huddle. We're lined up. We're ready to go. The center is ready. Let's send him in motion. Let's hand it off. Oops, no, wait. It's a fake. It's a little dump down. He's got it. We got to hurry it up. Okay. Let's call drive sail. Cancel. We're making a call. We're making a call. We're flipping. Drive sailing it. Everyone get set. Everyone get set. To the line. To the line. Ready. Wide 90. Wide 90. Hit. Looking. Chad's looking. Chad's looking. Chad's got him. Touchdown. Cold streak killing us. God damn, cold streak. Cold streak is fucking bullshit. Holy shit, man. How about that offensive production? I don't know if Alter's still here. It says only one viewer, which I'm assuming is you, Patrick, only. Sometimes the stats are wrong. You gotta tell me, Pat. You might call me Pat. You go Patrick, the full name. I'm gonna call you something else. Tell me. Let me know, Patrick. But also tell me, how do you feel about restarting? Because I already have that file called sim. So it's not like we're losing a lot. We've already got a lot. We don't have to start from scratch. But at what point do we restart? And we try to work our way out of a cold streak. And we try to hide him out of a cold streak. We take losses because we're just like trying to do basic plays. And because they reset, I think, every 4 weeks or something like that. I don't know how else to get him out of a cold streak. Like, get some screen plays and just run the ball and punt it and draw plays or whatever and just kind of like limit his attempts. Is that what we do? He said it's like a different team, dude. Yeah.
Let's check in on the sidelines. Danielle Pelini is there.
I got a chance to quickly speak with Pat Anger during halftime.
Anything could happen.
So far, guys, and he thinks that's a product of two teams being well prepared. He said, I don't think either team has been able to surprise the other, which means it just doesn't.
Not benched not benched for performance, but rather to see Blaine Gabbert. Right, Patrick, but you said, no, I got to play through the cold streak. But that's my point, Patrick. Do I restart the franchise? Because I've already cut Gabbert and I've already cut Henne. So angry at just like 12 interceptions. Like, that's what I mean. Like, restart, not from the core, but from that point where I'm like, hey, this is my staff, but instead of cutting them and going with other guys, do I restart and play through the cold streak that way? That's what I mean. Because I'm like, I'm putting Scott in. I was like desperate. Okay, we got to flip the front. That would be 100% more fun to watch. Yeah, I think that's it, right? So I think we've seen enough here. So I'm not saying we have to, but let's look at it. And there's a certain number of things that I can burn through without having to bore everybody. One of the things that I've done is also readjust all the rosters. Like, I went to the depth chart and I went through all 32 teams and I hit, like, auto reorder. So that was a thing. So with injuries and all of that, that was taken care of. Let's go to connected franchise. Let's hit resume offline. Let's do sim. And I don't remember how far I got in there, if I had already traded. Like, I don't remember if I had cut Blaine Gabbert or not. Because he was doing the same thing. We're in week 3, so I don't remember if the cut had happened or not. Depth chart. Gabbert's still on the roster. Okay? Gabbert's still on the roster. Do we pick up from here? Right? We go to week 3. Let's just say we do. Cut days. Go to cut days. Go to cut players. It says we need to cut to 59 and we already have 54, so there's no one more that we need to cut. We're fine. We say, that's one of the reasons why we had this, is so you could start relocation. Let's say we advance the week. Whatever happens, happens. Injuries, whatever. You said, oh my God, you cut Henne? Yeah, I cut Henne. If you didn't see, Patrick, I went in and put in, I signed David Garrard, gave him back his number 9, because he had like 72-something awareness. And I let Garrard learn the playbook backing up the quarterback, because if you missed it, we were at like 12 interceptions, and it was just garbage. It was garbage time. And Scott came in and just played good football. And Scott was winning the starting job, just not the winning the starting job, but Henne was losing the job. It was 12 interceptions and 2 touchdowns. It was awful. Like, unwatchable, awful. The fact that we know, like, we've seen it. We've seen it. We know that it has to do with cold streak. So because we know it has to do with the cold streak, then we've got to game plan around the cold streak and how to hide him. And how to play him through it. Right? 12 interceptions through 4 games. That's like 4 picks a game. It was embarrassing. Like, how are you going to have that many interceptions and keep your job? That's what I mean. So, cut day. We need to cut one more player. Because now we need to go from 54 to 53. So, quarterback situation, we got 4. All right? We got Scott. Do we keep Ricky? I don't think we keep Ricky. You don't keep 4 quarterbacks. So you take the hit, he goes to practice squad, and you're done. Right? Checkbox. You advance the week. And he said, yeah, that's fine. I remember that now. Yeah. I want my franchise to be fun. I want it to be interesting. Now we got a media question. I didn't have a media question before. I don't remember. Did I just skip over my media question last time? I don't remember answering it. It asks us, do we want to import a draft class from NCAA 14? And we could actually save that as a thing. We can go to league. We can go to settings. We can go here. Also the sliders. One of the things that I was actually doing is we had this. And again, it's computer accuracy. And the computer accuracy here, we can bump this up to here. Right? So you see pass blocking is 0, catching is like that. Run blocking is 0. Fumbles are here. The defense, everything was like this. And then I think we brought it down to 45s. No, to dead 50. We were at dead 50. And I think we want 45 tackling. That's some changes that we made for the games. And they have like the default pass blocking, all of that. The run blocking, like the default 50s. All of that. Good, 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 good. I can cut that down a little bit. And we're good. We're good across the board here. And then roughing the passer was down to 53, so it didn't happen all the time. I think 54 was good. Something like that. We were at 56 and we went down to 54. So let's hit save. And let's instead call it S1, Season 1, right? Or do we just save over the Jags? Just fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it. Now we know, and knowing is half the battle. So here's one of the things that we can do. Is we can also save it. Settings. Let's save it like this. Let's also save the Season 1. So the sim can be relocation. The Jags can just be what we're going to play. Why am I saving this? At least it's sitting to the side. It's kind of interesting to go in and simulate NCAA 14 and import a draft class. I've never done it before. I didn't own NCAA 14. I only have it here on this hacked Xbox that lets me play stuff. It's one of the main reasons I even got the hacked Xbox, because I don't like pirating games and all that, but I physically can't get a copy, especially for a decent price. I couldn't find one to be imported. Everyone knew it was like hot shit. And no one was willing to sell me at like a reasonable price. It was like scalper prices, like double, like $120. You know, I don't know, whatever. That's before shipping out here, you know? Maybe it was $100, whatever. It's like, no, just not doing it. Media question, blah, 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 blah. Peter Schrader, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, oh, maybe I did answer this. And it was like, you brought in a new head coach who inherits a blah, blah, blah. We wanted to bring in a coach who's a true tactician. All of these are like throw the other coach under the bus. Like the other guy wasn't a true tactician. Our team would come out far too flat far too often last year. The head coach sucked. We need to make wholesale changes, so we brought in a coach that finds talent and makes it work together because the other coach couldn't do that. Whatever. We needed a tactician. So, I don't know, is he a strategist or whatever? I don't know what kind of coach he is. I really should have looked at that to see what his rating is to help him out. I don't know if we can even see that. Strategy. Schemes. Does it say what kind of coach he is? It doesn't really say what kind of coach he is, does it? Maybe it just helps that individual skill. Maybe we can go here, home. We have our goals, reveal your milestones, and your media statements, your whatevers. All of that. We're going to have the top stories in just a little bit. It's not wanting to load. And then we'll be playing Kansas City all over again, which like I'm not in the mood of doing right this very second. But we might start it up. Especially, like I said, we want to finish adjusting some of the offense. But we've got it saved already. Franchise does not auto-save. Be sure to save your progress or it will be lost. Do you want to quit? Yeah, it's just we were just saved like 3 times over. Yeah. Customized playbooks. Offense. Shanahan. Okay, my playbook. We got rid of Near, we got rid of Hulk, we got rid of that stuff. In single back, we've got our bunch look, which you always have to have a nice bunch look. We've got a spread look, like a single back spread look. We've got a jumbo look. We got a 2 tight ends look. The only thing that we don't truly have is that normal look. That like 2 tight end, like a 2x2 formation with 3 wide receivers. That's what we don't truly have. That's what we're missing in our playbook so far. weak eye. Twins, 12 plays. We've got a boot. We've got a run. Do we really care about that halfback lead? I never practiced to see if that was actually good. The play action flood, the wide receiver in, the dig, that the boot slide works with that other block, yeah. The boot left, all of that. So we've got some plays here. The strong eye, we're happy with those. So we're happy with the strong and the weak, all those eye formation plays. That's the one thing we're missing. We're not really happy with not having the most bland, generic, boring, but still not boring because it's a staple. 2 wide receivers to the left, 2 wide receivers to the right, or like wide receiver tight end to the right. Like dice slot, doubles X slot, doubles Z slot, whatever. Like we don't have a this formation in any variant. And the key is, again, you want some good pass combinations with X and Y, like the buttons. Not like, well, actually, it also is the X and the wide receiver is the tight end. The X and the thunder, the X and the slot. You want some combination there. You want some combination play side. You want to be able to put these guys. That's why I cut it last time, because you couldn't put them in motion or anything. So you couldn't like tighten the splits or anything. That's why. That's why we didn't have it. Because you can't motion the wide receiver into like a tighter split. So if we have a variation, we want in-breaking routes from our flanker, the B button receiver. And then we were also looking at variations of tight where they're already preset like that. But that's split. That tight is split. This is tights doubles. This is doubles on. Yeah. Yeah, tight double and tight doubles on was the point. Right, that way we could have the formation be used. And it was like, what plays are we using like this? So if we have the ball in the left hash, we're still tight. We could have the ball in the right hash. Tight doubles on, huh? Or do we have anything out of these dice slots, whatever, where the split end aligns close, specifically? I don't see anything that's like labeled as whatever close. Corner, whatever, blah 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 blah. Bubble screen, close, misdirection. There it is, Z close, XYZ. This is it. Z close curl. Z close corner. Z close cross. Alright, let's say we did that. Curl, corner, cross. Right, if we wanted those. There's toss cracks so he goes in motion, but we don't want any toss cracks or anything. Anyone else labeled like close? There's like the motion to close. Like drive. But I don't see any like Z close like regular runs. Yeah, and that's the problem. It's just like the toss crack or whatever. That's the problem. Okay, I've got a lot of messages. I want to keep doing this. I'm not going to turn the stream off, but I think I'm going to take like a quick break, make sure the dishes and everything get put away, check my messages, check what's going on with my wife, check all these things, and then come back. I think I might be able to like set something on my computer as like a little break so that I'm not ending the whole thing, but we can have like an agreed time, right? So if I go here, what if we say like a 10-minute break countdown timer? 10-minute countdown with music, right? And then we say I'm just looking for something cool. 10-minute sports. Sometimes they have like the fun action stuff. I think that would be interesting to put up. They have the roller coaster. That's kind of interesting. Used to have like a lot of really good stuff for when Zoom was around, with decent music and everything. Let's do that. Let's zero that out. Let's go here to live streaming. Let's close the documents here. Let's go to this. Let's go here. Hit sources, display capture. Allow the music. Mute myself and start the video. Let's go. I don't think I left the timer waiting too long for you. Finishing up what needed to be finished as I heard the music die out. And here we are. Okay. So, what's next? That was the biggest problem. Okay. Yeah, that was the biggest problem with dice slot and everything. Do we have anything interesting here? I think we've gone through it, and I hate to repeat, but is that not the point? Yeah, they don't have anything double Z slot. Now we've got some more Z close. Right, the same ones. But that's it, right? Just trying to solve that first aspect, and I don't think we have a solution. Just looking for anything that's like Z close or whatever. Okay. I think we're going to have to treat it like a gun where we put the tight end to the boundary. And we put the receivers to the field. That's part of it right there. Right on the screen. This is part of the problem right here. Is levels divide has the deep comeback. And you need space for the deep comeback. But they also don't really run the deep comeback. Okay. I think that was it from there. So we know that that's not a thing. So now we're going to try the other plays. There are 50 here. So the next thing to think of, let's imagine the ball is on the right hash, and we have the tight end to the boundary. And so that way it's an in-breaking route with Bears Z under, right? Let's say that's the route, okay? So auto motions, we usually kill auto motions, but what if we just ran auto motions first? There is Atlanta zone weak. Play action, Atlanta boot slide. Play action, Atlanta boot screen. We're just going to do those auto motion plays. Are there any other auto motion plays? So we only worry about those plays. Here's one. See, here is... This is not labeled as close, but it is close. That's interesting. That's worth looking at as well. But that's for later. Flanker drag. Oh, come on, flanker, please. The toss crack, but we know that stuff don't work. We already know the Z close is not what we want, so we're just looking at the auto motion plays. Here's H-zone cutback where they're both tight. That's interesting. That's very interesting. We're just going to have that in there for a second. We're going to come back to see if there's anything else like that. Auto motions, anything that's like tight up, flanker drive. Z spot. Like, we're probably going to cut them all, right? Z drive. The other thing here with the Z drive is, like, the running back is he going to wheel up, or is he going to just, like, run out of bounds when the quarterback throws him the football? Right? You get me? Okay, now we saw that was interesting about the cutback. Is there anything else where they line up tight like that? Like, do they have passing plays where they line up tight like that? Here's a play where they line up tight. There's the weak zone where they line up tight. This looks like he lines up tight. Play action slot stop. Hate to race through them over and over again. We know the Z close isn't what we're looking for, and it's not going to be this or that. There's a few things that it's just not going to be. The cutback, we already added it. I think that's the other thing with the zone weak or whatever is, one, we're not faking anything with this, but we can start removing plays too. But also, I don't think the Z receiver aligned is tight either, which is important to me in terms of keeping the defense honest. They're not just like, oh, when they line up like this, we know what's coming. We absolutely know what's coming. Okay, that's it. Because that's it, let's go to my playbook. Let's go to single backs. Let's go to dice slot. We have 11 plays. We've got a run, a bunch of play actions. See, the Z doesn't line up close like that, right? Like he doesn't cut back, which means it's a tell, which means get out of here. The same thing with this. So that cuts us to 9 plays. So we have auto motions, motions, and motions. This is close, that we could also run the weak out of that, like that weak halfback dive, but there's no counter or anything. So if we turn around and hand off the ball, there's no play action, there's no nothing. So that's not worth looking at. Ooh, I take it back. There is a play action. Okay. Don't want to waste everyone's time, but there actually is a 3-play combination there. There was a play action with the weak side run and the regular pass. Okay, that's the kind of stuff that we're looking for. Like, I know some of the plays that it wasn't. It was this, and then it was the weak halfback zone thing. Which was where? Oh, there's the cutback. So I think it was before, no? There's pump draw. It was right here, right? Yeah. Okay. Let's go. Single back. Dice slot. Drive and spot. This drive has deep comeback and the seam. This has another combo. So this drive has the post corner. This drive has a different set. This isn't technically drive, it's drag, but that same idea. With another route combo weak side. And then the play actions. Okay. Let's go to practice this kind of stuff. Let's kind of put the ideas together. Right? Let's say we want the regular run to the left. Okay. We've got the regular run to the left. And then we've got the boot slide. Okay. And you've got the boot screen. And then let's say we call the play action or the fork. Then we want to be able to kill to the zone. Okay? We say those are our plays. And we keep it, and we save it, and we call it Shanahan, and we save it, and we say those 10 plays. This fucking chair. Sometimes the chair is fine, and sometimes it'll just pop the wheels off like 3 times in a row, and sometimes it'll just stay sturdy for a long time. Okay. We're doing that. The very first thing that comes to my mind is the play action screen ends up being a what am I looking for? Ends up being, let's go to Chiefs. The running back ends up getting tackled. Oh, you know what I should also change? I thought I had it changed, but then when we played the game, it looks like it wasn't changed. Manage roster. Order depth chart. Jags. And then the other free safety. Like that. In the cornerback position. Blackman like that. And the strong safety situation. Yeah, like that. And then save the roster. And then we go in and we do that. Keep playing. Play now. You know, it was also really good as the Broncos team that we played before. Hola! Oh, the wife is back. Bienvenido, amor.
Hello.
Did you find what you were looking for? Great. You gonna be happy with your costume?
So with on you're recording?
Yeah, but I can mute it right now.
Hello, friends. Jim Nance along with Phil Simms. Partner, good to be with you today.
Good to be with you too, Jim. You know what we're going to see today? Two defenses that love to hit the quarterback. I'm glad I'm not playing.
Kickoff is about to commence. Let's see. Maurice Jones-Drew lined up in the backfield. Play clock's running down. They'll run it. Here's the handoff. That'll stop the play right there.
So we found.
Okay, I'll mute it again.
You can't always walk everybody to the ground. The running back's got to do it himself sometimes. Nice job there by the running back.
Doing their part to spread breast cancer awareness this month in the NFL. Plenty of
6 in the box. They put up more in the box. Okay, let's go in motion, Blackman. Drop back. Okay. So we've called that as a huddle call. Let's go with flanker drive. And they're putting them in the box. So let's do the boot screen. Let's hand it off here. And that's not the full problem, but it's connected. All right. Feels like my microphone is like really loud right now. Like for some reason it's like super loud. And then it's telling me like danger, danger, you're too loud. When before I had it cranked all the way up and it wasn't registering as like really loud volume. So I don't know how I sound right now. But it's trying to warn me like, oh, you're at like danger levels. So I don't know. We'll figure it out. I kind of want to watch back my own channel now and see what happened. But okay. And then he doesn't get tackled, but they follow him out. And then that happens. I just don't think it's going to be a good play. And then we've got 3rd and long. And we're going to flip the Saints seams. So we've got players to the field.
on the way, 3rd down. Hinney dropping back now into the shotgun. That catch will extend.
And Hinney just comes through again. Yeah, I don't know what is up with the sensitivity of the microphone. Suddenly now it's like acting like, oh, I'm super sensitive. And before I had to be like really far away, and now it says like it can hear me from here. I don't know what's going on. Formation. Let's do this Z drive.
Jones-Drew lined up in a single back formation. They need to get the play off. Maurice Jones-Drew gets it here. And he's tackled at the 34-yard line.
Good job that time by the running back getting down the field and picking up big yards.
Testing. Okay. Electronics. I'll never understand. Why it feels like I have to be like up on the microphone whispering all this time I've been using it. And now it's like, no, everything's fine, yo. Now we're like super sensitive and picking everything up.
First down and 10.
Doing this flanker drive, and he throws a pick.
Intercepted.
Hey, that's, I mean, it's not what we want. This is why you cut this play.
One of the big
He goes for the drive. And yeah, just no one's open like that. So, like, yeah, that's a definite cut play. Yeah, that's a definite cut play. And then, We can do Z spot like that.
Jones Drews in the backfield. Single back set. 1st and 10. Looking for a receiver on the left side here. That picks up 7.
Well, when you run inside the quarterback, that's great.
And now we can not flip it, but we can do these close plays. Like play action stop and then kill to the run. So they're tight like that, which we like. Wow, oh, they changed their formation setup. Oh my god, you make it a tell. You make it a tell, so it's just like that's a kill then. You're stacked just fine like that.
First down here after the run. Eyeing that left side.
Drop back, can't keep it in bounds. That's a reason to kill it. If we can't just run the route, drops back and then opens up and throws. The whole point of being in tight is so that we're like this. So we're at the top of the numbers and we can have either guy break out with space. If we're breaking out and we still can't complete this ball, like on time, then that's a kill. And that's what we were testing for. Okay, I think I'm going to end this stream, do some stuff off stream, and then come back to play the game and figure out what's going on with my microphone here at the end. Because before I had to have it set all the way up to max, and now it's like in danger zone.